ABC's Jim Ryan has the details.
It was a week ago today that officials in Louisiana realized that hackers had
What do you think that
I got
was?
a fucking $500,000 bet going on this motherfucker.
Really? You have that much stock in it?
Yeah. I do, man.
I have a guy that does my own stuff, but a friend of mine gave me this stock. I think I told you it's called Equix, EQIX.
What do they do?
They're a data storage firm.
Cloud?
Yeah, he bought it at 200. It's now up to 570.
Wow.
I bought it at like 400, and it's up to 570. So
The
that's
only thing I worry about
the only
cloud
stock I own.
is Azure and AWS, which is Amazon's.
I thought
Right.
Microsoft is big in that.
That's Azure.
Okay.
They fucking scare me because they're so big.
Well, maybe they buy out people. That's the thing.
Well, that's a lot. You know, who was it that said, oh, God, this was a great line. Hold on, I got to think of this line.
You see, Tesla just went up. They got 200,000 orders for their pickup.
God, that's the ugliest
That-
fucking
oh,
pickup
isn't that the
I've ever
ugliest thing?
seen.
And you know there's going to be issues with it.
What is wrong with that thing?
Oh.
It is so. There's no functionality.
Where's
Right.
the pickup? I didn't see the bed.
You can
Well,
fit. They sell a four-wheeler that fits in it.
Really?
What is it? Yeah, it's an
We're talking about
electric four-wheeler.
the Tesla truck.
What a stupid.
Isn't that
It's
ugly?
so ugly.
I don't even understand it.
They compare it like.
They're going too futuristic. We're not there yet.
Yeah, but even futuristic. I mean, it's got to be useful.
And did you see how small
God,
the
I
bed?
can't think of this
The bed is so
example.
small.
I was going to ask for cost.
There's a great stock. They said, well, we're not going to do that because we'll just buy the company doing it now.
Who's that?
I can't think of it. It's ingenious, though.
What is?
I can't remember what the fuck.
I mean, what category
do?
of product we talking?
There's a huge company, and I couldn't understand why they're not doing something the small company's doing. And they said, the CEO came out and said, well, we're going to let them perfect it, and we'll buy them.
Oh, okay. A lot of companies like that.
I know, but it's the technology is fucking crazy, and now I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I see. You're.
They were up.
That's the second time you said it.
But Tom didn't know.
Oh.
Why can't he say it more than once?
Yeah, what's up there? Why are you so getting on them now?
I thought you forgot. God, all the news is nothing but weather. If they really get 18 inches in Fort Collins, fuck.
That's a.
What the
So
fuck is this?
this is the.
Hey, just watch the language.
What do you call it? I got it.
Should I look
Windfall
like?
for Social Security, but it only applies to if you were paying in Social Security, like in a federal job or a foreign job
Or, no, a teacher in Colorado.
or a teacher.
What about it? Are we talking windfall again?
Yeah.
What did we conclude it? What did
Exclude, well, I don't know what the question is.
What's the difference?
They take some of your Social Security out, but if you have 30 years or longer Social Security, it doesn't affect you at all.
But if you're in para or something else, well, how does it operate?
See, that part I don't.
There's the. Let's get the second page. That's what they.
So it wasn't what we talked about. Limitation of benefit.
They take away from your.
But it has nothing to do with full retirement.
Right.
Right?
If you're right. But there's different.
The law protects you if you get a low pension. We won't reduce your Social Security benefit by more than half.
Get your truly free
It's
credit
if you have another qualifying pension, right?
Like if you had para. I mean, because really,
Without paying into
if you were a teacher for 15 years and then you worked for Walmart for 15 years, you would get both.
Well, okay, so what is that saying? I need to understand it. What is that saying? You won't
Fuck
get
if
both?
I know. I gotta read it.
It's a
Yeah,
big rule.
explain it to me.
It's like
Well, I didn't get a chance to read everything.
like
I
a
just
fucking
see it,
letter
but
from a
it
listener.
depends upon what the guy's question is.
Okay, but what, in general, the Windfall Act is to keep people from getting two, right?
It's basically saying it can reduce your Social Security if you get a pension.
Okay, but not like my private.
When your benefits can be affected.
But Mark, it's not talking about our private pensions, right?
Oh, it is if you weren't paying in Social Security.
Yeah, but you were paying in Social Security.
You paid in Social Security for 30 years or over.
Right.
It doesn't affect you at all.
So it only affects,
People who had like jobs that didn't pay in Social Security.
and that would do what to them?
Or
Limit their
jobs,
Social Security
or jobs
with the-
that paid in Social Security for less than 15 years or less than 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
That video made me a believer. Foam your walls.
Of course, federal employees.
Federal. Why did they ever do that with federal?
What's that?
Not have them pay Social Security. Why did
Because
do
they
that?
don't want to fuck their own. They
That's
just
right.
want to fuck
That's
everybody
exactly
else.
Right.
right. That's exactly right.
Right.
That's really what it is.
And I pay, if you're self-employed like I was with my practice, I paid double. I had to pay as an employer, and so I paid double Social Security.
Go.
My dad did too.
Hey, Tom Martino here on a short week for many, and also possibly a big snow week. We got a lot going on. If you're listening from around the country and you're wondering what we're talking about, of course, much of the country is being gripped by snow and wind and cold. But, Denver and Colorado is not only being gripped, but we get out of it quicker. I don't know. So no matter what happens, it's going to be sunny later. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I'm preparing for the worst when it comes to snow. I think we can assume that Mark and Suzanne won't be here.
Damn
I'm surprised we're here today, Tom.
right. Yeah, we were a little nervous leaving. It could
Right,
snow later
the
tonight.
threat of snow. Basically, my voicemail will get this. I know I'm going to get I recorded his last voicemail, and it's going to be there. Yeah, that'll be Mark.
That was me watching the neighbor's baby during the last storm.
Mark could not get out of the driveway. So anyway, 303-713-8255, whatever's on your mind, will help you. Okay, let's just go to the phone. Sean. Hey, this is a show about solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. Me and my team, Team Troubleshooter. I'm sorry, because it's not just Martino. It's Team Troubleshooter, all of us. Sean, what's going on?
I got a problem here, Miss Martino.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's a fraud case. I work for this company called Ally Universal, a security company, and I got a spinal fracture injury on the job on October of 2017. I still have the injury, but the insurance company, they were paying me my workers' comp, and then they stopped it after they stopped the the maximum medical impairment.
Yeah, now it's called maximum medical improvement. For everyone listening, what happens basically is the system looks at you and says, we will pay you for your injury. Once you reach maximum medical improvement, one of two things happen. You go back to work, or you get another job that you can do, or you get an impairment rating. Did you get an impairment rating?
I got an impairment rating of 12% and was never paid the 12%, and then
What do you mean never paid? What do you mean never paid?
They never paid me that. It came out to be $14,518.08. They never paid me. They listed it as being paid from 9/6 to.
So wait, so they did say that you are due 12%, and there was a lump sum given to that of $14K, or was that back pay?
No, that was $14K. It wasn't back pay.
All right, so why didn't you get paid? Wait a minute. When was this award given?
It was given on 9/6 of 2018.
Okay, so why haven't you been paid?
That's what I can't understand. They said that there was an overpayment, an excessive overpayment of $26,630.
Oh, okay. So they're saying during the time you were getting benefits, they overpaid you. Therefore, you're not getting your 14. Are they trying to collect the balance?
But that wasn't correct.
I'm not asking if you agree. Here's what I'm asking. Are they contending because they overpaid you, you're not getting the 14 grand? The answer is yes. The other thing I asked, are they wanting more money from you?
Correct.
And you're thinking that's horse crap. Not only do you not owe the money, but you are still owed money, right?
Well, this is math. This should be the
exactly
simplest problem ever.
Did you hear what he just said? Mark just said this is math. So why do you say you were not overpaid?
Well, I was overpaid by only $12,703.32. She lists $26,630.07. The medical date totals don't total $15,946. They only total $10,000.
Okay, hold on. Listen. So you were paid. You acknowledge you were paid, overpaid 12 grand. Now, what? Right?
Correct.
Okay, so you would be satisfied with getting your impairment check for $2,000.
Correct.
But they're saying not only are you not going to get that, you owe money. We know it. We don't have to go through it. There's a disagreement. Why does your figure differ?
Because she took the what do you call the temporary total disability. She put in there $13,394.65 when I was paid $39,000. She listed it on there as being paid from 10/31.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to get Sean. One thing I have to tell you, okay? I don't want to be mired with detail. I want just generalization. So, you guys disagree because she's claiming you were paid more than you actually got.
Correct.
Well, this should be easy. Why isn't anyone listening to you?
They're not. They made me go to court for 7 months for nothing.
What do you mean going to? What do you mean going, Sean? What do you mean going to court for nothing? Why were you going to court? What was the court for?
I was for this false overpayment of $26,630.07.
Okay, this overpayment of 26. They're claiming $26,000 overpayment, but where do they get? Okay, and you're claiming no, it wasn't an overpayment of that. You were just overpaid 12. But I don't understand why there's such a difference, and that's the part. You went to court and lost?
Yes, sir. I went to court. They vacated it after they realized that this whole 7 months I was.
Hold on. Wait. On this court, did they sue you for the money, or did you sue them?
No, they sued me.
Okay, and the judge ruled how? What was the ruling? Not asking if you agree. I'm asking what the ruling was.
They stipulated that the 1203 was in fact incorrect of the 26,630.
That doesn't. Okay, the judge said you were overpaid or not.
He said I was overpaid. Yes, sir.
How much did he say you were overpaid by? In general, I don't need the cents and the digits. I like. Did he say? Okay, so he agrees with you.
Correct.
Wait. So when you went to court, he came out saying that you were not overpaid by 26. You were overpaid only by 12.
No, sir, not exactly. They sent me a letter.
Who's they?
Their lawyers. Their Allies lawyers called me and then set up this stipulation, and then.
Wait. So right now, is everyone in agreement right now that you were overpaid only 12, not 26?
Correct.
Everyone's in agreement.
Everyone's in agreement after 7 months.
Okay.
I don't get that.
Gotcha. So now, bottom line is this. Everyone's in agreement. Where's your $2,000?
Correct.
Okay. I got you, bro. I got you. Thank you. I got it. Okay, listen, this is a side note, and I really mean this. By the way, Sean's got his stuff together. He knows what he's talking about. How do I explain this? When you are complaining to people, you have to be accurate. There's a time you have to be right down to the penny and all of that. But in general, here's what I think. I think people avoid taking problems and diving into them because they don't understand them in a crystal clear way. I have an expression. It's called, and this is valuable information for anyone presenting a problem, presenting a solution, or describing a situation, no matter when, where, or how it is. Put a handle on it. Someone has to be able to pick it up and hold it and manipulate it. You need to make it clear and concise so someone can put a handle on it. In this case, I would say, I am not getting paid. I am supposed to get a payment, okay, for 12% impairment of $14,000. They claim they overpaid me, so I'm not going to get the full 14. I'm only going to get 12. I only have 12. I'm only going to get 2 because they overpaid me by 12. That's it.
If his math's right.
Well, he said they're all in agreement now. So I suspect he has evidence they're in agreement. We'll help him get the money. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm curious why he didn't use an attorney in the first place.
Sean, I'd like to know something. That's a good question. You have, for a fact, written documentation where everyone stipulates you were overpaid by $12,000.
Correct.
Okay, good. Okay, I have a simple question. When you ask, where is your payment of $2,000? Since the award was $14, you all acknowledge you already got $12. What do they say when you ask for your additional $2,000? What do they say?
They haven't said anything. I haven't gotten a response at all.
So when you ask, you actually talk to someone and you say, where's my money? And this is what you get on the other end.
Correct.
You get this. Nothing. Zero. Or do they say, I'll pass it on, or you say nothing? Now, I'm literally asking what they say.
They don't say anything. They just sent me a letter, and that was it, saying that they vacated November 6th, and I haven't heard from anyone.
What is that? So they're claiming they've already paid you.
Yeah, and I don't get that.
But don't you think you should have told me that? So they're claiming you've been paid.
No, they haven't claimed that they paid me the $2,000.
Oh,
no, they haven't done anything.
Okay.
So what I wanted to know was if my facts and figures are correct.
Right.
So is everyone on this final fraudulent admission of liability? Are they liable or are they not?
Liable for what?
And what's fraudulent?
Just wait a sec. Are they liable for what, Sean?
For these false figures that are on here.
Well, you said they finally came around to believing you, right?
Correct.
So what would they be liable for if they finally came around?
That's what my question is to you.
Well, what would they be liable? Okay, if they claim... Yeah, okay. See, now I know why Sean isn't getting help. I know exactly why.
Because he's threatening to sue?
No, because he absolutely doesn't even stay focused on the issue. First he asks about, I thought he had $14,000 coming. Then I find out, no, he owes them money. Then I found out, no, they acknowledged $12,000. He only has $2,000 coming. Now he's on a totally different tangent, totally different as to, are they responsible for something? But what? He can't explain. He says, that's why I'm calling you. Just hold on. I want to sum it up. I have Linda, who wants to talk about property with a friend. Erica wants to talk about military housing. We want to help our veterans and our active duties. And Eric wants to talk about a car being totaled. All of you have very important problems. Please stay on the line.
Expense in retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host.
Now he's talking about having fraudulent numbers. That's right. That's his latest thing.
None of it makes sense.
I need Denver Trial.
Your money,
Mark, should I put over the...
DenverTrialLawyers.com. I want you to get to that website, and I want you to look at this law firm because they are the fighters when you have catastrophic injuries. I don't even want you to think or try to wonder what is a catastrophic injury. You know what? You just need to call them and let them ferret through it, because there are many times when you underestimate what you are owed for your injury. Other people overestimate. They are the realistic estimators, and if they think you have a case, they will go after it, and they only get paid if you get paid. They have had verdicts as much as 60, 70 million in awards. They've had verdicts, they've had judges rule, they've had settlements, whatever they feel will do the best for you. So why don't you get to know this team? DenverTrialLawyers.com.
You don't have a problem sending out on Facebook and YouTube that we won't be on Friday and Saturday.
Say that again, sir.
You don't have a problem for me sending out over Facebook and YouTube that we won't be on Thursday and Friday.
Impacting your happiness. You have the wrong plan. At APO Financial, their name has the word protect in it. So
Why do these people not use me for their spots?
they'll seek out
Why?
opportunities
Why are they not
beyond
using me?
the traditional asset classes. And opportunity zone investing, where you could make money and potentially eliminate your capital.
I need Dap to come up
At
if
APO
she
Capital,
can.
their sole mission is to help you achieve your retirement goals. And as fiduciaries, you can be confident that they'll always put your best interest first. If you're ready for your lifetime of hard work to start
I need her to
working
make some
with you,
calls.
it's time for you to schedule your complimentary review.
I wouldn't have her call these guys.
Yeah, I will, because I've already emailed them 3 times. I just want them to get someone on the phone and see John. Not that I care, just so they know. That's all I want them to do is know.
Americans are always on the move. They're in the car, at the office, working around the house.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right, Mark?
To sit still.
I don't know why you're doing it. Who cares?
Well, because I want to be of value to them.
Well, when they date, you are of value to them. So, I mean, I don't know why you're... I just disagree with it. It's no
You don't
big
think
deal.
it's a triggering event, do you?
Yeah, I do, actually. I do. To get honest, that's what I do. Yeah, why fuck with it? Why? I don't even know why you're fucking with it. Think about it. Why are you fucking with it?
Can ruin your life.
I mean, I know where you're coming from. I just don't agree with the
He's offering a free initial
logic.
consultation and up to $500 off his services. 303-429-6200. That's 429-6200.
This is Michael Brown for the Grossman Wellness Center, offering congratulations to
Grossman's
their
a
new
pretty good
location
doctor right
in
here.
Glendale,
I don't think I'd
Colorado,
want a doctor.
just
He's a
outside
really,
of
it's an interesting case, you know. He was a pediatrician up in the mountains, and he married one of his patients after he stopped being a family doc, who was 25 years younger than him. I've known Terry for ages.
He seems to be dedicated to what he does.
He is very involved in this. He wrote 2 books. I'll bring a copy in for you about. He's really into this youth and living forever. And he's into this youth and living
No, I
forever.
understand that. He has some very real, but a lot of stuff he just flat out stole and repackaged. But that's okay. So did Tony Anthony. What's his name? What's his name?
Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins.
Yeah, that's all fucking repackaged.
You know,
you understand.
yeah. Terry also works with, you know, this guy Kurtzman, who's this big futurist who invented. You know who Kurtzman is, right? Kurzweil. Kurzweil.
I didn't know he was working with him.
Yeah, he wrote 2 books with him.
You know the smartest futurist in the world? He was the best. He was the most accurate I've ever read. He lives right in Boulder, or he did. Nesmith? Megatrends?
Don't know him.
Megatrends. Look at the author. Megatrends was the most... Do you know what he said, Mark? In Megatrends. He said, there will be a time in the future. This was when it was unheard of. Where information will be our currency. It will be a commodity worth more than anything.
It is.
It is.
I know. He predicted that when people said, what do you mean? They didn't even know what the fuck he meant. He was so ahead of his time. In Megatrends.
Plus, it's #1 recommended by dermatologists.
You know, that's what Amazon. Well, as Mark says, they have their server line and all that. But do you realize that
sponsored by
that was a play for information? Is Amazon? I was such an idiot saying Bezos is an idiot. Now, I mean, I didn't mean an idiot. What I meant was he's not as a genius as you think for what he built. But he is. Even though they didn't make a lot of money, it didn't matter. The process of was what he did. And I always looked at it as money. But what if you think about it, he convinced millions of people to invest in an idea, in a company that will make no money for 20 years. If I contend that any good business person, given that amount of money over 20 years, could have done the same thing. I mean, not everyone, but I bet you if you gave Mark the same amount of money over that period of time, it would have been the same thing. It would have been.
Right.
I'm convinced of that. Because he did. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. We have 2 shows going on, one off the air, one on the air. We have discussions, and I love it. That's why you should listen on to online YouTube, Facebook, or iHeartRadio app, or you can get us anywhere, basically. Get the podcast, listen between or not. Okay, so very quickly, Sean hung up. I know why Sean hung up. He didn't want real information. Okay. Sean thought he knew everything and he knew nothing. The reason he wants to know what are they responsible for? Nothing. It is not fraudulent when people disagree in court. People lie in court. You know, here's the thing. People go in with two different opinions, two different ideas, two different contentions, and they are not held responsible at the end. That's just the way it is, okay? That's just the way it is. Unless you lie under oath and all that. But here's the thing. They are not responsible for anything for miscalculating. It was a mistake. If they relented and came back to you, if during the time you discovered not only were they incorrect, but they refused to acknowledge the mistake, and that cost you money, and that costs you damages, you could probably get some kind of settlement with another party if they purposely would not acknowledge a mistake and dragged it on and on and on and on. You can get punitive damages. In this case, I would say, Sean, just get your $2,000. But you won't. And I'll tell you why you won't. Because you're not asking properly. You don't know how to do it. Linda, what's happening with you? Hello, Linda. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
What's going on, Linda?
How are you?
I'm doing good, and I
Okay,
thank you for asking. How can we help you with this property?
Okay, I gave you some story. So Mary and I agreed verbally to go buy a house and flip them to sell.
Okay.
Then I used cash, bought 2 properties, and she agreed to get the money to pay rehab.
Now, when you say, okay, so it was not just land, it was what was it?
It's a single-family houses.
Okay. How many homes did you buy?
Okay, that's why the first I bought 2 houses.
Well, hold on. Just let me back up. Linda, really quickly. You and your friend Mary, did you guys have an LLC or any kind of a formal partnership?
So after I bought the property, I paid the cash for, we formed the JV.
Okay.
Signed.
So do you have a partnership agreement in writing?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys, the purpose was to buy houses, fix them up, and sell them?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
Then, after that, about 2 months, we start, she's through to get money to do the rehab. And
right.
For 2-3 months was okay. But pretty soon she told me, you know, the $60K is gone. The property doesn't look like
Linda, was Mary in charge of the money?
Mary charged all the money, and Mary's on the deed.
Okay, but here's what I want to know: who bought? Where'd you get the money to buy the houses?
From my heritage.
Okay, so Linda, you were actually spending your money, or was Mary chipping in?
No, she didn't pay any penny on the buying part, but she said she will take care of the rehab.
Gotcha. So that was the deal. You were going to buy, she was going to rehab, and then you split the profits accordingly?
Yes. That's kind of all verbally said. I will get like a original whenever I put in.
Right.
And also 10% of that, and also pay off her rehab alone. Then whenever left, we'll do 50-50.
Okay, so you were going to buy the property and get your money back plus 10%. Then you were going to pay for the rehab and get paid back in a loan, and then you split profits.
No. So, for example,
hold on, Linda. You were going to put up all the money. She was going to pay you back. Then you were going to split the profits, right?
No, she go out. She will get a loan for the rehab.
Oh, I got it. Okay, she got a loan for the rehab. Okay, so here's what I want to know. What went wrong?
Okay. So after 3 months, and she said she needed more money, and she go get a more loan on the rehab.
Yeah.
On one of the property.
Okay.
However, after 3-4 months or maybe 8 months went by, the house still not ready.
Right.
For sale.
Linda, may I ask, did you ever go through one complete cycle where a home was fixed up and sold?
No. So that's the part that made me upset because she used these two properties I pay cash for. The first one as a collateral to get a loan by another property.
I get it. She used property number one to get a loan to rehab, and you paid for property number one. How many homes do you own right now?
Right now, she got 6 of them.
Wait.
Used these two properties as a collateral.
Wait, so you just bought 2 for cash, and she managed to leverage those to get 4 more?
No, without my permission, we had a JV.
Linda, I understand.
Know.
Linda, I'm just asking. She used the first 2 that you bought to buy the other 4.
Yes.
Okay, so now you guys both own those 6, or did she go out and buy those on her own?
No, she got another 5, 6 private money loans.
But what I'm asking, are you owning those homes with her?
None of them.
You only own the first 2.
I don't owe anything. I'm not even on the title.
What about the first 2? Did she take you off of those?
No, that's the first supposedly plan is as I was as a lender to the 2 properties. That's why she took all the titles. I'm not on the deeds.
So Linda, you were never on the deeds of any of the houses.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But also, I didn't have a deed of trust.
Okay.
As well.
Here's a problem with real estate. You're going to learn. I'm going to give you the cold hard facts and tell you exactly what to do. But here's Linda's problem. She bought the houses, 2 of them, was never on deed. She was listed as a lender. Then that person used those 2 homes to get 4 more. We got a big problem.
So I talked to her extensively.
Okay, so do I have the story straight?
You have it straight. The only thing she's going to say is they're foreclosed on those 2 that she's not are foreclosed because of.
But she would have gotten the right to cure as the lien holder. Did she have a recorded?
She has nothing that says that she owns anything.
No, I meant she said she was listed as a lender. Did she hold the deed of trust?
No, not that I know of. I never asked her that.
Who's foreclosing?
I believe that the banks that are that she
basically lost her money.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I mean,
that
that's what she did. In real estate, there are no verbal agreements. They're illegal, specifically illegal. In Colorado, you can't have. Who do I got, bro? I have real estate. There's no verbal agreements. What's that?
Just thinking about what you said. I'm thinking.
Well, they're not allowed.
I'm thinking of renting a room out. If you rent a room out.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm just talking about.
I'm already there. Like I barely token and I got.
No, I'm serious.
No, I know. As far as buying and
they're
selling,
supposed to be like.
So take on the winter with Presto.
No, I don't know what their JV listed.
This is a name I don't want you to use. I want it to be ineffable to you, but here's the problem. You're all going, not all, many of you are going to need them, and that's the problem, okay? Joe Lazara. This is the holiday season. I mean, already they're opening up bubbly in the afternoon. Please know this. If you drink and drive, you can get popped for a DUI and it'll change your life, even the first one. Joe Lazaro will help you, okay? Now, that doesn't give you a license to go out and do something stupid. No, he can defend you and try to get minimal impact. Or if you're not guilty, if it was falsely accused, he'll do his best to defend you, and he does a great job. But here's the message. Don't drink and drive. It's that easy. Or use, not only don't drink or drive, you can drink if you want and then use Uber or Lyft or a designated driver. You know all that, okay? Now, Joe Lazaro is not going to preach you. I just wanted to get that out of the way. He is a legal defense attorney. And I hope you don't need him, but many of you will. Joe Lazaro, 303-429-6200. Keep that close to you. LazaroLegal.com, 2 Z's, 1 R, LazaroLegal.com, 429-6200.
This is Ed Green. Do you
hate that I have to carry my purse everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's no walk. How you doing?
I know. I'm
I
so
tell you,
sorry.
when I was writing prescriptions for medical marijuana, I had a kid come in with shoulder pain because she said her purse was too heavy.
Yes. Purses can be very heavy.
Right.
I need you. Holy cow, this is really going to be a big. I didn't really.
What?
The storm.
Oh, so they say.
But Mark says they're offering travel waivers already.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what happened to John Fuller.
Oh, really?
He was Suzanne said he was supposed to come in today and go to. He was to fly to Florida tonight, but because of the storm warning, they changed his flight this morning, so he wouldn't get delayed by the storm.
Yeah.
This is supposed to start that quickly tonight, though.
Yeah.
I am.
No, it's supposed to start even before. Let me see what time.
This afternoon is supposed to start.
Let's see. You ready? I'm going to tell you exactly the gig, man. Because here in Colorado, meteorologists have never been wrong.
About what?
Weather.
Oh, bullshit.
Ever.
High quality.
In fact, I'm going to bet you about snow. I'm going to bet you.
Yeah, what do you want to bet? And where are we measuring? That's the big part.
This says 5 o'clock tonight. It's going to start.
Let's say the official snow. Let's find an official one. What is it? Tell me.
DIA.
Usually they use DIA, but I don't want to use DIA.
With quality, accurately dosed.
Can't we go by whatever?
I want to use Fort Collins.
Soft gels,
No.
and topicals.
Right.
CBD that works.com.
I'm saying that this whole thing's going to be a big exaggeration.
Yeah, but we've got to have an actual.
We're going to get almost nothing.
There's got to be something that's quantifiable, though.
You guys think we're going to get slammed?
I don't know if we're going to slam, but we'll get almost more.
No, it's only going to be a one-day storm. How bad can it be?
Okay, Castle Rock. Let's do Castle Rock.
Yeah, I said that once.
Castle Rock's small enough to where the numbers are the numbers. It's not like Denver where you can have different numbers everywhere. Let's do Castle Rock. I say Castle Rock.
40% of Americans.
You want to do an over/under?
Retirement. Why is
Let's
that
do an
number so high?
over/under.
It's
I
because
say
they don't
over
have the
10
answers to
inches.
these four
Will you
critical
take
questions.
under 10 inches?
Number one, how much retirement income will you actually have when you stop?
I'll
working?
take under
Two,
10.
how much will taxes
What do you want to bet on?
Take under
401ks
10
currently retired?
$20.
This
You
number
got
is
it.
shocking.
No, let's
Number
do
three,
something
how much
more
will
fun.
market crashes cost you?
That's
Why
fun.
would
I
you
like
really work
20.
without losing?
You already owe me
What
843
actually
lunches.
doesn't matter money. Grab your cell phone now and call to talk to a specialist to see a vivid picture of your retirement.
And if you think
Plus,
about
get a
it,
copy of my book,
really,
Wealth Beyond Wall
even
Street,
though all
to
the
get a comfortable
lunches you
plan
owe
to
me,
guarantee a retirement
I have
income that
purchased
lasts as
more
long as you
dinners
live,
at Perry's
grow
for
your
you.
wealth to beat inflation, and
And
protect
taking
you from
credit
crashes
for
so you
everything.
can avoid the worry of
Of course.
volatility.
Castle
Every American who's in retirement or even thinking
Shut
about
up.
it should have this
Oh, 10
information.
o'clock. That's not good.
No, but keep your mouth shut, shit stir.
That's 1-800.
Trying to bet me.
Come on, over under
Centeno
20
Schultz,
bucks.
I don't
living
like
stem cell therapy. I can't stress that enough. If you are looking for stem cell therapy, please don't waste your money
Gift
with
cards.
these liars and cheaters who
Gift cards.
use amniotic fluid, umbilical cord, and other fluids they have shipped into the clinic. And I'm sorry if I offend
That's a
you.
good
You
one.
gotta
I
figure
like
this
what
out.
he
If
said.
a clinic has fluids
Apparel
shipped
of your
into
choice.
the clinic, you are not
Limit
getting
$100.
true living stem cell therapy. Under current law, it's
Apparel.
How about one of
We're
those?
betting apparel.
One of those things.
Centeno Schultz,
Massage.
How about this?
That's getting too high.
This is fun. $50 purchase on
Call
Amazon.
them for an evaluation.
$50 purchase on
Now,
Amazon,
but
directly
what's-
shipped to the other
What's
person.
the cutoff point?
50. Are you in?
I'm in.
Do you have an Amazon account?
Well, no, I'm not betting.
I'll get you a gift
I'm
card.
not betting. Oh no, you're on my side. So I say under 10 inches Castle Rock. But when do we measure? When do we cut it off?
We cut it
Because
off.
knowing him, he'll say, well,
Right.
the year's not over.
February.
The year's not over. That's what I'm getting at.
No.
You gotta watch him.
We cut it off. We cut it
Wednesday
off.
morning at 7 a.m.
No, of course not.
Why? Because it's going to snow on.
It's going to
Hold
snow
on.
overnight.
We'll think.
Okay.
Hold on, we'll think.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Okay, so Linda bought property. You guys, we have a line open, 303-713-TALK. And seriously, I love helping people, okay? And I don't want to get too weird with you guys with details, but sometimes I ask details, you may say, why? Mary and Linda don't really, they may not have a partnership agreement. They may. But one thing I know Linda is probably going to tell me, she bought 2 homes. On those 2 homes you bought for cash. You were listed, you said, as a lender. Is that right, Linda?
Is verbally.
Okay, but when you bought these homes and you were at closing, you paid for these homes. How did you show up on the documents? Were you the buyer?
No.
Okay, she was the buyer.
Yeah.
And also this Mary, she does not list you as a deed of trust. You're not on there as a mortgage. People call them mortgages. They're technically, in this state, deeds of trust. So are you listed on title as a lien holder?
No.
Okay. So you have no secured interest in those homes?
No.
That's what gave her license to go and borrow against them. Now, as far as real estate law goes, real estate law does not acknowledge verbal agreements in Colorado. So you have a problem, okay? And here's the problem. On paper, she has done nothing wrong as far as the real estate transactions. She owns these homes, and now I think you're going to tell me, unfortunately, that the homes are being foreclosed on, right?
Everyone.
Every one of them?
Yeah.
But why?
Okay, I have a question. I have to tell another thing I need.
But
to
I
say.
want to know the written agreements. You can ask anything you want. But I said, as far as the real estate transactions, it doesn't sound like you have much to go on. But do you have any side agreements? This JV you had in writing, that might show some evidence of their intent and maybe give you license to go after her. Do you have the JV agreement?
Yes.
Okay, can you send that to us? Yes, you can.
Now in front of me, I will. Yes,
okay.
I can.
Well, now go ahead with your concerns. I think you have a serious problem, Linda, and it might be you lost your money. How much did you pay for these houses?
Maybe about 200K.
How much? 223?
200,000.
200,000 or 400?
200.
400,000? Two. Okay.
God, that sounds pretty cheap for a house around here.
Each house was 100,000?
Yeah, around there. Yes.
Okay. So you have a total of 200,000 and oh my goodness gracious. How did this Mary find you?
From another person.
Uh-huh. And Mary, where is Mary now?
I don't know either in...
Did she disappear?
No, she's existing.
Does she talk to you?
Yes.
What does she say? Is she sorry or does she say nothing's wrong? She says it's not my fault. What is she saying?
She tried to quick claim deed to me. I said I don't want now because otherwise they foreclose on everyone.
Well, are the houses fixed up?
One of them.
So how much is owed on everything? Houses 1 through 6.
About 1.1.
Okay.
Over 1 million.
And she said she would give you quit claim deeds.
Yeah, quickly on maybe 3 of them.
And now, are any of the homes worth redeeming? Or I don't even know how the foreclosure is taking place. Are they each foreclosed on by themselves, or is one being foreclosed on because of another home that she didn't pay on? Because you said she used it as collateral.
Yeah.
Well, which homes are being... You don't really know. It's such a mess, right?
Yeah.
How do you even know about the foreclosures?
Because we talk and another person involved, and she told me.
All right. I'd like to. Listen, Linda. You have a serious problem. You need to see an attorney. But Mary may not have anything you can go after. Is Mary rich?
I don't know. Then the other thing that the 2 properties renting, then she collect the money, then start pay the.
I understand.
Mortgage.
She sounds like a full scumbag. That's what she found. Hold on. We need to get a hold of Mary. Let's try. What I want, also, I'd like to get Mary's full name, but give us any number you have on Mary. This is a serious problem. Erica.
Yes, sir.
You're calling about military housing, active military?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you active?
My husband is.
Okay, what branch?
Navy.
And what's going on?
So we have basically a group of families out here in San Diego in privatized housing that is managed by Lincoln Military Housing.
Okay, now Lincoln has nothing to do with the military, right?
Right. They're a privatized company that the
Gotcha.
DoD brought in
now, are
to
they? If you
manage
say a
homes.
group of people, a group of families, are these single family homes?
No, sir. They're attached military housing.
And so they manage these homes, military housing, and you're going to tell me something bad about them coming up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no. I want to help, especially if we have a group of active military. Hold on, please.
Hey, Tom, I understand the first house that Linda bought, if she paid cash for it, why is it being foreclosed on if she owns it free and clear?
Because that woman, she
Yeah.
doesn't own it, first of all. She's
Well,
not on the deed.
right, but it was paid for.
Yes.
Okay,
But that woman used those houses
Right.
to secure additional loans for other houses.
so because the loans are defaulted, they're using that as collateral.
Well, yeah, no matter, when you have a loan on a house, it sucks. I mean,
Right.
you know, it's terrible what happens.
So basically, the first house is collateral for the loans, even though it's paid
She
for.
said the first and second
Right.
were collateralized.
She's very sketchy on the way they entirely paid for.
Yeah, well, at
It's not
first,
listed here.
What are you looking at? What have you been?
Hour one shows
oh, so,
Only Fresco's.
Did she say, Ken, did she say what town she's in?
Okay.
Your engine from the elements to keep your engine running better. So
It's definitely not here at 100,000 a house. There's no such thing.
I don't think they're fully paid.
Fix it 24/7. Oh, you better call before the storm because they will do a complete clean and check for new customers. $39. They want to introduce you to their fabulous service. When I say clean and check, it is practically a refurbishing. In fact, other companies call it refurbishing and charge a ton of money. These guys will spend 2 hours or more. They will go through every part of that furnace. They will clean it. They will take out the blower motor and the burners to the extent they can take it apart. They will clean each and every component. This is the best $39 you will ever spend, period. And I mean it. Now, before the storm, what about this? How about $39 to find any problem? If it's been nagging you and you know you need to get it fixed right now, we have the calm before the storm, $39, find any problem. And that means when they find it, they will give you a solution, and if you have them fix it, they will credit you the $39. And that's 720-526-3939.
You guys got better finalize that bet.
Oh, yeah. So let's say, yes.
Apple Air, somebody broke into their account.
Linda
and
did
a
not
few
want Mary
things.
called on the air.
So I changed their password.
What does that mean, bro?
Let's call her
Like
up.
somehow they,
Oh,
somebody
okay.
was doing stuff on their account.
Can you explain the
that
problem
was not
to me?
them.
And do you want me
What
to
did they
call her
do?
for you
What
to
did
talk
they
to
do?
her on the
Their
air now?
Napster, and I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Did you understand? Ken,
Yeah.
Flint had some
I'm
hiccups with his
I
traveling, so he won't be in until next week.
Okay, good.
If you want to be in the rest of this week and
Good.
or Tuesday,
Okay,
Wednesday.
Yeah, you got it.
Do you want to talk to Linda and get Mary's info for off the air?
Sure.
Okay, I can give you. I can.
Start with
Do you want to
Rocky
call
Mountain
her
Retro,
now or
and then
when do you want to
Denver
call Mary?
Trial,
When do you think,
and
I'll
then
call
fix it.
after,
Okay,
during the
good.
break.
During the break?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. I'll get the information. for
okay.
you.
So if you just search on the referral.
Just email it to me. I'll look at it. I wonder if it's because of the plumbing, though.
No, because why would the music guy show up?
Well, I don't know about the music guy, but I mean, as far as fireplace, that's how you install a new one, would be plumbing. You have a plumber come out and run the gas lines. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the keywords.
Well, he
Just
seems
email
pretty
me.
upset
Did
about
you
it.
say really someone broke in?
Well, somebody got into their account.
So,
and
Mark,
added
the
stuff
snow's
that they
supposed to be
didn't
all day
need.
Tuesday.
Mark, we need to lock down our site if somebody's getting into Apple.
Well, I think that they didn't change their password, and I don't know, somebody
something's
could have
going
gone
on.
in there. But
That's a serious problem if truly someone
If they
broke
only
in.
got into apples, it's something Apple did. It's nothing we did.
Well,
I don't see anything
So
wrong with the pictures. We got taken off.
Well, I changed it.
Oh, you did? What was
Yeah.
it?
What was it?
So what happened was whoever added a new this
Well, then
photo
that's a
is
serious
stuff
problem.
that they
We have
didn't
somebody
even,
hacking
that they don't
in.
even do.
Well, why would anybody? Okay, so someone broke into their
Mark,
account and
I'm not the
uploaded
one
a picture
saying
of a
it.
furnace.
She just told me somebody did, and how do you know
Well,
that?
who else did it?
Who did someone tell you at Apple somebody hacked their account?
Cody from Apple Air said that.
Okay, just so you.
I'm sorry,
just,
Tommy.
just
I
send me an
misunderstood.
email.
She doesn't
Okay.
want us calling Mary at all.
Well, okay, then we can't help her.
Do you
Bye.
want to kill that air, or do you want me to kill it?
And
Can't
so I
help
need
her.
to
I'll
get rid
kill
of
it.
that, but there.
Someone hacked into our account
There-
for HVAC and uploaded a picture of a
Now I'm
furnace.
getting an email from Plumline, so
They're
let's see what
upset
that
about it.
says.
You
Wait,
can-
yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Dad,
just want to make sure somebody's not
Come in there
testing
when
the
you're done.
waters here.
So what happened was that picture was here, Apple Air, their logo wasn't showing up, it was on there.
Hey, bro.
And Cody's like, how long has that been? And well, I
We're
showed
third
that
hour.
whoever did it was.
What was there when they were? It was Apple.
Fix it. Mile High,
Changed it
estate
back.
planning,
No,
and
what was
Rogers.
it, though?
Yes, just big thumbs around Daphne somehow. Thanks.
Sorry.
In hour 4, Johnson and Rocky Mountain
So,
together. Mile High Estate Planning and Master Router.
And it was on
So
November
we
15th.
just nixed Sheridan.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's good. Thanks, man.
Okay, Mark, so all day Tuesday, so you want to do it Tuesday at midnight?
No, we'll go Wednesday.
Wednesday, 7 a.m.
Wednesday noon.
Why Wednesday?
Because it's
Talking all
supposed to
day
snow, it's
tomorrow?
supposed to snow all day Tuesday.
I say,
We got Wednesday noon.
Okay.
nah.
What do you mean, no?
Nah. That's too much time. I meant one storm.
Well, as long
That
as,
is one store.
Why?
all right, well, I'll take $50 Wednesday, 7 at noon. You got it.
I got over 10. You got.
I got under
10.
10.
All right, you chickening out now?
What if it's on 10?
Well, then it's a
Then
push.
it's a push. 10.1, I win. 9.11, you win.
Right.
9.11.
It'd have to be exactly
Okay.
10 inches.
9.9.
No, 9.11.
Castle Rock, proper 10 inches, not
Right.
outside.
Castle Rock. Yeah, Castle
What
Rock,
do we go by?
this city.
Channel 9.
Channel 9, that's fine.
If they
Okay.
say Castle Rock 11 inches,
Total.
We lose.
Yeah, that's right. Bet.
hi, Tom
Witness.
Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So Dr. Ken and me, we bet Mark 10 inches or less. No, under 10.
So you want me to pull it out here?
And he's got over 10. And then that's what we're going to do. On snow in Castle Rock by Wednesday.
The city.
By Wednesday at noon.
The city of Castle Rock. Wednesday, noon.
As disclosed or reported by Channel 9. We just had to pick one because
That's right.
sometimes they're a little different. And this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. I could never be more grateful this time of year when I look back for the relationship we had with him, for all the people he helps. 303-920-1622. And it came to mind when I was talking to Linda, because had you used someone like Frank, just make sure everything is done properly. And speaking of that, Linda, did you have anyone on your side when you went to buy this? Did you seek legal counsel, or did you have a real estate broker?
Yes.
And did they advise you that you should protect yourself?
No.
Okay. Well, now that you have nothing in writing, here's what could happen. Okay, I don't think, I think you lost your money unless you can prove it was fraud. Then it goes outside of the actual transaction. It sounds like it was fraud to me. But you don't want us getting a hold of Mary, so you're tying our hands behind our back. We can't help you anymore. So what exactly did you hope we could do for you if you don't even want us to go to battle with you? What did you want us to do?
We want to battle. I want to battle, but I just don't feel the time is right now. This moment.
Then you
So
call us back when you want us to help. And if you need a recommendation for an attorney, you know, and this is one area, and anyone listening, this is an area where we are deficient when real estate attorneys are so hard to find because it's really a weird area of law.
One of the reasons is we are so laxed in Colorado. You realize as you start moving east, you have to have an attorney to actually buy and sell property. Well, Colorado is very lax.
They're at the closing. Almost everyone has an attorney at closing. In some states, you have to have them. I don't know if it's the law you have to have them, but I know that they don't even think about having them without an attorney. Yeah, go ahead.
But I think I'm thinking is the JV we have the agreement.
Right. That's why I want to see. By the way, let me see that JV, and we'll run it by some of our experts, okay, and our attorneys.
Okay.
That's our first step. Linda, go ahead.
Linda, you never told us where the properties were.
Wait, Linda, just really quickly, what were you going to say?
I want to see maybe the inside have embezzle and fraud.
That you could. Where are these properties located?
In Colorado Springs and
all right. Now,
Canyon City.
The biggest problem now a bigger problem. I want to go back to Erica because we don't have time now, but we're going to do it right after the break. Erica has some active military families, and I want her to quickly, before we end this hour, describe the problem. I'm sorry, not Linda. Describe the problem, Erica, with this military housing. Go ahead.
So our military families do not have Bill of Rights as tenants. Right now, Lincoln Military Housing in San Diego has about 30 families that are not in their homes because of rampant mold in the infrastructure of their homes. They are sending Stanley Steamer out to remediate mold, which they are not qualified to do. And then when our families are asking for proof of environmental testing stating that the levels of mold in their home are not toxic and they can return to their home and be healthy, Lincoln Military is telling them to have a lawyer contact their lawyer. They're locking families out of their home.
Even if this wasn't military, you can't.
Now, Erica, I want you to continue, but what do you mean they're locking them out? That makes no sense to me.
So we had one family in particular that was placed in a hotel during what they are calling mold remediation. They had security cameras inside their home, and from their security cameras, the gentleman saw the technicians that were in his home going through his personal belongings.
All right, hold on. This is serious, okay? I'm going to come back to you. We need to get some help, but I need to know the extent of the problem and that some of it is not imagined like they're locking them out. And then I want to contact LinkedIn Military, but not until we get a few more facts.
Owning a home has never been easier.
If this is true, of course.
The reason I asked that,
Okay.
Linda never said it was in Colorado. That's why.
No, I know.
Yeah, this is from San Diego. Her properties could have been somewhere outside of the state.
I just did. She was just explaining something to me. I don't mind you chiming in without asking.
Right.
But just don't interrupt people, because here's why. He does that too when he's saying you got a commercial coming up, and God damn it, sometimes it's right when I wanted something and I miss a word or two.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah. Sometimes they pause and you can get right in.
So the mold is in the vents for them. Vents, condensers, all that. That's what she had said. Told me.
Before the VA funding fees increase in 2020. So call an American financing.
So you know what Mike's comment on inches? If it's Jewish, this is 6 Jewish inches. So God knows how. Is this 10 Jewish inches tomorrow? We're talking about real inches, Mark.
We're talking about real inches.
Okay.
No, we're talking, actually what we're talking is
What if
9
they want
news
a
inches.
big storm heading our way? Let's have a plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking be here. I mean, first of all, we're not gonna have a big storm, but
It doesn't look that big.
why do we have to discuss it? Daphne, do you hear me?
I say 8 inches max.
Just say yes on Google.
Of Navy Secretary Richard Spencer, Defense Secretary Mark Esper says President
If not, I need to talk about you.
Stop the disciplinary process for Navy SEAL Edward Gallagher. He was accused of war crimes but convicted by...
I wonder why they're going after this Navy guy so bad.
Oh, they're
What
not
was this,
anymore.
Mark? What
I
was
know,
it?
but why did they?
But what was it? I don't understand. What was it?
They were basically, they took him to fucking trial, a full-blown deal. And he was found basically not guilty of anything but taking a picture next to a dead,
A dead ISIS guy.
The guy that was really a showboat. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why in the first place did they go after him is the part I don't understand.
Well, for
Why
sure.
did his platoon not like him? Why did his bosses not like him? Why? Why, Dan, why?
Well, I say just like those Marines that were caught pissing on a dead suicide bomber.
You guys remember the first one where they had them all lined up and they stripped them down naked and shit? And
You
took
mean Abu
pictures?
Ghraib?
That's right.
Yeah, Abu Ghraib.
Oh, wah. You know, they torture and burn our guys alive. We get in trouble for stacking them naked like a bunch of pigs that they are.
Well, this
And they made a woman do it, remember?
Right.
Right. This Marine one.
The problem was-
took pictures where they were dead, and Hillary Clinton said she was going to go after them.
She's losing.
The problem was that it was all over the media, so they had to do something.
But it still doesn't matter. They burn our guys alive in fucking boxes and saw their heads off with shitty saws.
Well, here, look at another thing. They say waterboarding is torture, even though no one's ever hurt.
Waterboarding. What is that? Wah, I'm gonna drown. Wah.
You know what I thought they
You know
were
what?
doing, waterboarding?
Light their fucking asses on fire like they do to our guys.
I thought they would, and bars were going to do that, saying, "How long can you take it?"
Oh, right.
You know, like a little contest.
Right.
I did. I really thought. Just like the riding the
Listen,
bull.
when my
Yep.
kids didn't go to school, guess what?
You
Waterboard.
No, wouldn't that be a good bar thing?
I don't know.
What, after beer pong?
Right, and then what
Then
happens?
you go over to the waterboarding?
Yeah,
Right.
that would be a good one.
Yeah, what
And then-
happens the first time
right, the first time someone dies.
Because they're fucking morons. You got one drunk guy trying to drown another drunk guy in a bar.
All it takes is
Yeah,
one.
Dan, this is a good business plan. You know what? This is great.
Dan, then one guy takes one breath in is all you need.
Let's
and
see
you-
if
and you're
Tom. Let's see if Tom
They
will
put a
back it.
thing over you.
Yeah.
Put a thing. Let's try it on you. See, I think you can take. So you're tough.
Some fucking drunk guy waterboarding people at the bar
I didn't say
for
drunk.
free shots. Yeah, this doesn't have disaster written all over it.
I like it. I like it. Well, remember the riding the bull? Remember that?
Well, you can still do that. That's a little bit different.
Not, I don't think. When's the last time you seen a mechanical?
Oh, long. It's been years. I'm sure there were
They
lawsuits
still
over
have them in
that.
Texas, don't they?
I don't even know about Texas. I bet they do like
Have you ever done it? I did.
Georgia.
No, I bet in Texas with all that padding around,
Well, they
they still have it.
Yeah, you still snap your neck
Right.
though.
And when you partly fall off, you can get.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a few with them. I bet the waivers are crazy, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
bet they calm those bulls down.
I'll tell you what, we went to New Zealand. They had this thing called the Zorb, which is this big, clear, about 8 foot, looks like a soccer ball, with a little
Oh, you hop
tube
in
inside.
it. Oh my God.
And
Dude.
and you go down the hill, and there's water. There's two spheres, an outer one and an inner one. And the inner one has water in it, and it's connected to the outer one by these bungee cords. So as it goes down the hill, the inner one bounces up and down, and the kids love it. My son did that for about an hour. And I said to the guy, what a great, this is like 10, 15 years ago. I said, why don't we do this in Colorado during the summer on some of the ski slopes? And he said, you know, we tried to do it. The liability insurance was so high
Dude, look.
that we couldn't do it.
Look at this. Come over here. Both of you. Look at this. Here's your Zorb. Here's why you don't see Zorbs in the ski. Watch this. This is real as real gets.
But they took it from the top of the ski resort. Huh?
Yeah. This is real as it gets.
What is?
This is literally a Zorb.
Back in town,
What?
Texas
Watch
Drive,
what-
the right lane remains
watch
blocked.
what happens to
25 and Hamden there. Solid backups to Bellevue. Crash being
This
pushed
is
down
this
north
plastic
side
ball.
25 at 6th Avenue.
You get inside the ball and you go down the hill.
So there's a big ball with a little one inside, and the inner one is attached by bungee cords, and you bounce up and down as it goes down a hill.
Watch what happens.
Okay.
Guy gets dizzy.
That would scare the shit
Oh,
out of me.
Watch
It would
it.
scare me to
Oh, you've seen this before?
Oh, this was huge. This was big time news about 5-6 years ago.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Watch what happens.
This is New Zealand.
Free credit monitoring from Credit Karma.
So there's a dude in there.
Download the Credit Karma app now.
You can see where they've been doing it.
Right.
Watch this shit.
Is it dragging him?
No,
No, he's in the ball.
Holy
No, the
cow,
guy
it really
behind-
gets going,
Watch.
doesn't it? It goes down the thing.
Was it not
Now
supposed to go there?
They can't stop it. That guy's trying to stop it because it's already off path.
Because the ride's over?
No, the ride's over. This motherfucker's going to go down the tundra. Watch this.
He's getting extra rides for this. He's got to pay for this extra
Wait till
ride?
you wait. Watch this, man.
Hey.
Dude, it's gone now, bro.
So he gets a little seasick.
A little seasick. He's dead.
It was like,
Is he no way?
did he
Yeah,
die?
he's fucking died. Watch this. Oh, he's dead.
Where did it go to?
Fucking off the side of the mountain.
Did they show it?
Yeah, but
Did they show where it went?
He's still going.
Look at this fucking
Here's
guy.
the
Watch
deal.
this.
he looks fine.
Watch this.
It pops it? Wow, he's
Look,
really going.
he's airborne, bro.
Wow. Yeah, but he's...
Oh my God. He died.
Oh, he's fucking dead.
I wonder what killed him.
That's what killed him. He fucking went off the mountain.
No, but what killed him if he was
With it,
suspended in there?
I'll bet the rocks push the air. Let the air out of it.
I don't know.
That's probably.
Did they say?
I don't think it matters. Zorb ride ends in death of Russian mountain slope. On Russian
that's
mountain.
in Russia. The hell?
But they probably did it on an open slope rather than on the ski trail where it's confined.
Plus it's Russia.
I think literally that last thing he went over is like 100, 200, 300 foot drop.
It's the Troubleshooter.
Well, I don't care what you're
But
in.
Mark, people go off of Niagara Falls on shit. I mean,
Well, when I did it
And
in
many
the
die. And many die.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Wow, do we have a lot to talk about today. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com, and I'm serious when I tell you that. CBD is a godsend for many for pain, and we happen to have a wonderful pharmaceutical lab located right here in Colorado, and those listening around the country, all you have to do is go to RealCBDThatWorks.com. Panacea Life Sciences, pharmaceutical grade in all of their products, not just some of them. RealCBDThatWorks.com. This distresses me about military families. Again, we could have a problem that's serious, or we could have people exaggerating. Who knows? But whenever anyone calls and says we have multiple people involved, I ask questions. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm Tom Martino. For 40 years, actually more, but 40 years in Colorado, we've been solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. Let's go right to Erica. Erica says there's a group of military families. How many actual families have this problem, Erica?
30. There are 30 that I know of in just one neighborhood.
30 homes?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Okay, has this made any news anywhere?
So it has been on local news out here. We are right now trying to get it on national news.
All right, and we're talking about in San Diego, active military, 30 homes. Now, how did the mold get there? Mold is, and I want to make this clear, mold is serious when it is toxic mold. It's also serious when the concentrations are high for respiratory ailments. It won't kill you instantly, obviously. It takes a long time. That's why a lot of people don't feel an urgency. However, it is something that has to be dealt with because mold will not stop on its own without drying it up, because it needs a source, and that source is water, period. If it has no moisture feeding it, it's going to die. But then you have to kill the active mold spores, and it takes a lot of mitigation. And you say they had Stanley Steamer come out there. It takes way more than a carpet cleaner to get rid of mold. But the big deal I want to know, the big thing is, you said they were locked out of their homes. What does that mean? Are they being told 30 homes are locked up and people can't go in?
Right, yes.
But how can they charge you rent? In other words, Erica, I beg you, because we really want to get involved, not to exaggerate. Right now, 30 homes, 30 families cannot enter their homes. They're prohibited.
Yes, sir. When an individual showed up to his home to gain access to his home because he saw technicians going through his personal belongings, there was a Lincoln military property manager and 2 security guards posted outside his home denying him entry into his home.
So you have not been in your home in how long?
I am just an advocate out here for the families. I have been
Okay.
working with the families. I did property management professionally on the civilian
How
side.
did the families get a hold of you?
Through various Facebook groups and things like that. I have a nonprofit out here that I run that supports our military families, and so.
Oh, okay. So you're like a military troubleshooter, basically. You help families.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anyone in the military, or were you in the military?
My husband is active duty.
Oh, okay. But you don't live in this development.
So I live in homes that are managed by Lincoln, and I have had my own issues with them.
Is Lincoln a big supplier of military housing?
Absolutely, yes.
And people, but it's a regular landlord situation, right? You guys pay rent to Lincoln, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay. It's not. It doesn't have any official capacity in any way.
What do you mean?
Well, they're not sanctioned by the government. You don't have to live there.
So we don't have to live here. However, if you know anything about the rental market and the housing market in San Diego, it is very.
No, I understand. So, but they specialize in military housing, but they're not a government contractor. I guess that's what I want to say.
Oh, no, yeah, they absolutely have a contract with the government that is good for 50 years.
Wait, so it is government run?
It's managed by Lincoln. They were brought in by the DoD.
I get you now. This makes a lot of sense. So that's good news for me, because to get to Lincoln, if they have such a lucrative contract with the government to manage this housing, they have to treat these families right, or wouldn't the military care? I mean, do you guys have a JAG office you can complain to, or any kind of an ombudsman to complain to?
So they are not doing much. The Air Force, for their families, went in and audited Balfour Beatty, which is their PPV company. They went in and audited their maintenance records, and it came up that they were lying and fraudulently, adjusting these maintenance records to say that they were doing things when they weren't.
Okay.
And that is the same situation we're having here.
You're saying the Navy, basically you're saying the Navy is not getting involved to the extent they should, or like the Air Force people did.
Absolutely.
Well, did you complain to anyone at the Navy?
Yes, sir. I complained in front of a CNIC panel 2 weeks ago.
And what do they say?
Just that there is help coming.
Okay.
Whatever that is supposed to indicate.
Erica, these people cannot get into their homes. Will Lincoln tell us that they are mitigating and that's why people can't go home? What will they tell us? If we say the people cannot get to their homes, what will Lincoln say?
Yes, that's what they'll say. They'll say that they've been removed for health concerns and other things.
Are they paying for temporary housing for these families?
So they are paying for hotels, but they also are still collecting full BAH. And we have families that have been displaced for 45 plus days in hotels that are not being reimbursed for the additional costs they're incurring. And most of them are junior enlisted families who are financially strapped
now
with the cost of living anyway.
Erica, I get it. Now, there's going to be a little, it's terrible to explain this to you. They're military families. There should be some exceptions. However, when you say additional expenses, I understand when you're not at home there are additional expenses, but the way insurance looks at it, okay, or anyone else, when people are displaced from their homes and they're in temporary housing, they say you would have to eat anyway. We're not going to pay for meals because you have to feed yourself anyway and certain things. Is that what you're talking about extra expenses?
Right, but the thing is, the landlords on the civilian sector would not be allowed to charge rent for an uninhabitable.
No, they would.
home.
They would if they leave the home available. In other words, they're holding it for the future, and they supply temporary housing. Even if they pay for temporary housing, they do collect rent. I mean, in a normal civilian situation, that's not unusual. But there is sometimes a differential because, okay, even though I have temporary housing, it's not equal to what I was in, and therefore they usually give some extra stuff. And, you know, so, Mark, what do you think?
I think they would. You can't double dip. You can't get somewhere else to stay and not pay rent. That would be double dipping.
That's exactly how they consider it. Erica, I'm just telling here. Let me explain this in a nutshell.
How about base housing, real quick? Could they go over to base housing while this is getting
This
finished?
is base housing, I think, right?
No, I mean on base housing.
Well, so the base housing is Lincoln is not offering other housing. They are empty house. There is empty housing, but they keep that for incoming families. So they're not offering these families a chance.
How did the mold? How did the mold get to be such a problem?
So it's in the HVAC systems. They're not maintaining the HVAC systems.
I got you.
When
Enough said. I got it. I understand how that can happen. So listen, the good news is temporary. I know it's not really good, but at least they're addressing the temp housing, and at least they're doing, or they think they're doing, mitigating. Whether they're doing it properly, there's got to be follow-up testing. But I have a feeling we can light a fire here and get some people very concerned about it. But there are a lot of details we're going to need that I don't want to do on the air. So, Suzanne, we have to be sure we get all of this information. Then I'm going to have one of our former military people deal with these guys because weren't you technically a part of the Navy as being a Marine?
Right. And I just seen that there was one Marine family was awarded just recently $2 million for this mold in the same housing development.
Really,
Just
Erica?
recently.
Did you know about that? Did you know about that settlement, Erica?
Yes, sir. It's in Camp Pendleton. It's north of San Diego, actually.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's the thing. We will get on this, and I get it. Not only are people displaced, you're saying they're not doing enough for them. Basically, do you have someone that you have talked to at the Navy? I want you to hand that off to us, too, or keep track of it. Suzanne, just make sure we get Erica's situation. And, Erica, is there a website or anything people can go to if they want to lend support and help out at moral support? Like, have you written a blog about this, or do you have any website at all?
So we're on Facebook. The name of my nonprofit is Dependa Strong, and we actually are collecting gift card or donations.
All right. What's the name on Facebook?
It's called Dependa Strong.
Dependa.
Yes.
Spell that for me.
DEPENDA.
Okay.
Strong.
Got it. All right. Dependa Strong on Facebook.
Yes.
And don't hang up yet. I want to make sure we have all of your contact. Yes, Mark?
And that one Marine
Dan?
family is in San Diego. It's right by the recruiting depot.
Okay. We're going to take care of this. I mean, we're going to try to. But thank you for thinking of us. We've helped many military families.
This is Michael Brown for the Grossman Wellness Center, offering congratulations to them for their new location in Glendale, Colorado, just off Colorado Boulevard. This unique medical clinic can help you stay young and achieve vibrancy at any age. Dr. Grossman has literally changed my life. They offer state-of-the-art equipment and advanced testing located in a beautiful office with ample free and easy parking and amazing mountain views. Now, until December 31st, they're offering 50% off initial consultations for their nutritional and medical IV therapies. IV therapies are powerful and direct ways to increase energy, decrease inflammation, and detox the body. And all medical IVs are under physician supervision, and at Grossman Wellness, they've done more than 150,000 nutritional and medical IVs over the past 25 years. So call today at 303-233-4247 to sign up. Go by and see the new facility in Glendale, Colorado, just off Colorado Boulevard. Call 303-233-4247.
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Listen, I have never been so impressed with a video. You know, normally my eyes glaze over when I see something online. They say, look at this. But when I saw this video, I knew that I had to represent them to help people get the best retro installation there is. Retro meaning your house is already built. That's all it means. Now, if you have an old home, a new home, it doesn't matter. If you had a recently built home in 10 years, you probably don't have the right insulation. And with the right insulation, like Rocky Mountain Retro Foam, you can save up to 50% in energy bills. And this foam, it's not a spray. It's not a part A and part B. It's not an epoxy. It is a foam that remains pliable and soft like a shaving cream, but a little more firm. It goes in and it goes through every nook and cranny in your wall. It's not liquid. It won't stain anything, and it doesn't leak out. This stuff is the real deal. It's Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Here's the video. FoamYourWalls.com.
This is Ed Green. Do you suffer from depression? Have you tried medications that either didn't work or had side effects, such as weight gain or sexual dysfunction? Roughly 40 million adults in the United States suffer from depression. If you or a loved one suffers from depression and traditional medications are failing them, get help with Arahant Mental Wellness. And call them right now, 303-502-5911. Arahant Mental Wellness has a new way to treat depression called transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. TMS is a drug-free, non-invasive, and is FDA proven to treat depression, and it has none of the negative side effects of medication. Many patients feel relief after only a few weeks, and Arahant Mental Wellness takes most commercial insurances to pay for it. Stop suffering through depression and call Arahant Mental Wellness right now to set up a free consultation. Their phone number is 303-502-5911, 303-502-5911. Again, that important number, 303-502-5911, or online at hopethroughinnovation.com.
Do you know the most shocking thing about calling an electrician? The great unknown. Most electrical problems take a lot of time to track down, and that can be expensive. But not with Plumline. Plumline Electric is committed to character and excellence, the character to do the job honestly, and the excellence to find and fix quickly. Translation, value to you. Plumline Electric, a brand I trust in my home and a brand I can recommend to you. Plumline Electric, taking fear out of the great unknown. In other words, shockingly good.
Haul packages for a living? A gas-powered Mercedes-Benz Sprinter delivers. Transport people? A Sprinter van with 0% financing is a 5-star idea. If food delivery is your thing, then a gas Sprinter caters to you. And if you're a general contractor, the Sprinter with 0% financing nails it. With innovation, safety, and technology, Sprinter is built for you. And it's built for your bottom line with 0% financing. The Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, starting at just $33,790, and for a limited time with IRS Section 179, you could be eligible for up to a $25,000 tax deduction. Gas engine, 0% financing, and a possible tax deduction? Now that's a Sprinter that delivers. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
MSRP excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, bond availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Only valid on 2018 or 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans excluding cab chassis. Qualified commercial customers only. Financing offer valid through January 2nd, 2020. Consult your tax advisor. For more information, limits may apply. Visit mbvans.com.
If you've been hurt in an automobile accident or in any other way and you're wondering, is this what I have to look forward to? Missing work, pain, missing vacations, not being able to do stuff around the house, and who pays? John Fuller is someone you should talk to. Free of charge, complimentary. If he takes the case, it's only payable if he wins, and it's a small percentage of what he collects. Why should you be the one to suffer? 303-597-4500, 597-4500 on my referral list at referralist.com.
This report is sponsored by Prestone Antifreeze.
A pinpoint weather alert day for heavy snow tonight. That's going to make travel tomorrow very difficult. Today, partly sunny skies, high 43. Tonight, down to 13. I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner, Fox News pinpoint weather.
No.
With colder temperature.
Here's another dreidel.
Right. Who needs a dreidel?
Oh, here's this guy's email.
I tell you what, it was hard in the back putting that thing up.
What?
You got to lean way over in those trees to put the top stuff on there. And those trees are...
A lot of times, on the big one I have, I just jump. I hold it and I jump up and put it right in the right place. Ornaments and all, so you got to jump kind of easy.
Is there any way you could decorate it laying down and
then push it out in that?
No.
Because first of all, you got to fluff it out. That's a real tree, that one. It's just perfect.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
One Clear Choice Garage Doors, man. I'll tell you, when weather gets nasty, you never want a garage door failing. They do have emergency service. They have regular service, but you'll never do better than OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They do immediate service. They do openers. They do doors themselves. And speaking of military, he's a former Marine, and he runs that place. You would love the way they do their service. Neat, clean, orderly, and just precise. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. So we're working on right now this problem with Erica and the military families. We're going to take that off the air. She has a Facebook page called Dependa Strong. That's her nonprofit. But this goes far beyond that. This nonprofit is not just for this, but this is a problem in San Diego with mold, 30 homes displaced. It has made local news extensively. We're going to try to move the needle and actually get something done. And then we're working for Linda, too, although we're done with Linda right now. What the thing is with Linda, she just screwed herself, basically, by getting in a partnership with a friend, and she has almost no hope of getting her money. This friend basically got the houses and put loans on them. People, if you invest in real estate or you buy real estate, you have equity in real estate and you're not on the deed, you stand a chance of losing everything if the person who's on deed does not keep up their obligations or they go out and get a loan. This has happened to parents who have given their kids houses and the kids are put on the deed. The kids go out and get a loan. Now, Mike has a comment on snow, I believe, Mike, because you heard that we made a bet in-house here. I bet Mark,
I'm already surfing Amazon. I'm looking for cool stuff.
I bet Mark it's just a very simple Amazon purchase that we're going to have less than 10 inches in Castle Rock, and he's saying we're going to have more. What is your comment there, Mike?
Well, I thought maybe you were going to bring out your dinger because I know Mark likes that.
Well, I bring the dinger out when I win. That's good because that's a
I'll definitely take the under if you pull out your dinger.
It's celebratory when you take out the ding. The dinger is for success, and so when I win, I'll take it out. But
hey, Doc bet me too.
But then Mark, he would take out his dinger if he wants to measure 2 inches or so. He'll lay down. And Eric needs some advice on his car. Eric, go ahead. I know I couldn't escape without one of those jokes. It's so juvenile.
You're childish,
men
my friend.
always, and before I did it, you guys did it off the air. It's so juvenile how men just always joke like that behind the scenes, right? What's going on here? And we're still allowed. We are still allowed to joke about stuff like that behind
it's funny.
the scenes.
I brought
on
so
our
much
own
more
bodies,
maturity
on
to
our
the
own
show.
bodies. We can joke about our own bodies. Go ahead.
Dan and I have brought so much more maturity to the show. Prior to us being around, my God, you were like, I don't know, like Rodney Dangerfield.
No. I have to keep Mark in check. That's the hard part.
But I will tell you, and this is serious, okay? There is a God-known universal law that the older the man and the lower his balls, the more naked he will be in a locker room.
Oh, man, you're not kidding on that one.
Honest to God.
Where we play racquetball.
Why do older men like being naked?
Every time Dan hops into that hot tub with these old naked guys, my head twists.
No, but why do they love being naked and talking right close to you? And
they just don't care, Tom. They just don't give a hoot.
I just think they have this feeling of freedom, and it's
liberating.
And I have a saying: just because hair grows doesn't mean it should. You just there's got to be a time that you do a little manscaping. For God's sakes, you're not held captive. It's like these guys think like they can't touch it or something, and then the idea of applying lotioning. Oh my God, it gets all matted, and it's like out of a horror movie I'm looking here, and I'm thinking this can't be real.
Tell us more, Tom.
Hey, I'm sorry. And Eric, it's your turn. I'm sorry, Eric. You called for some serious advice, but no, I mean it. It's almost as if the more gross, hanging, wrinkly, I swear to you, it's like they enjoy it. But okay. Then they have the nerve to sit and watch, because we have a little sitting area. I'll never sit on those vinyl seats in my life ever again. You'd think they'd just put a towel down. Oh, they get up and you can see the imprint. Anyway, Eric, sorry. I'm glad you didn't hang up after all that. Eric, what's going on, bro, with your car? It got totaled. Seriously?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I've been listening since the mid-'90s. I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Oh, man. Thanks
Thank you.
for listening. We appreciate it. When did you have your total wreck?
So Friday night, totaled. Tow truck car shows up. I mean, police, ambulance, all that. But the tow truck comes, and I said, you know, do I need to call AAA? I've been a AAA member forever. I don't want to pay for the tow. Policeman says, no, this is who AAA calls anyway. Don't worry about it. The tow truck driver says, no.
You're not allowed to wait if there's somebody there. They want it out of there. But, I mean, now...
Yeah, well, it was off the road. It wasn't.
Well, then I don't see why you had to rush. But anyway, you know, Eric, if you depended on advice, you can't hold them to it. I know you might think, oh, my God, I ended up paying. They said I didn't have to. That'll never hold up if that's what you're complaining about, the towing.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what my
but the insurance should still pay for it. I don't even understand.
Yeah. Well, here, let's just talk.
$30 a day for storage too.
Okay.
And
when somebody shows up to tow a wreck, you must be moved out of traffic, but you can stop it there. Okay. If you agreed to have it towed, and if you say a police officer said, no, this is who AAA will call anyway, which might be true. It doesn't mean they have to charge you AAA rates if you didn't call them through AAA. So it's very true that the same contractor could be used through AAA. If you call them through AAA, you get one rate. If you call them directly, you get another. The other thing is...
I understand that, but the thing is, if I hadn't been lied to, I would have made a different decision, right?
Yeah, but Eric, who is going? Okay, you were lied to. Who is going to admit they lied to you and it cost you money? Who?
Yeah, nobody.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find out what my options are. The car, the company.
But even if someone, hold on, even if someone did lie to him, what is that going to change?
Well, no, what I meant was if this tow truck driver truly did lie to him and he admits it, he says, yeah, I gave him some wrong information. No, I think he could get the extra cost from AAA.
Jeez,
I mean, no,
maybe.
I mean, the extra cost on top of AAA from the tow company. If the guy admitted it, he's never going to. If he said, I gave you wrong information, man, you should have called AAA. As a result, it's $100 more. I have no doubt you could do something about it. But like Mark said, if they're scumbags, you know, you'd have to go chasing that. But Eric, let's get right down to it. Why doesn't your insurance pay for this tow?
I haven't even called them yet. I didn't want to file a claim because it just raises my rates.
Well,
right?
just so you know that you can get it paid for if you have normal insurance. It usually does include towing. You want to know what your options are. So what is the situation?
Let me just say one more thing though. So the other thing was, you know, it's totaled and they said if you sign the title over to us, which I'm fine with, they're going to recycle it or whatever. They'll reduce the cost to $150 and scratch the storage fees, the $30 a day storage fees.
Do you have? You don't have collision coverage. In other words, you're not going to get paid on this wreck.
No, this is a 16-year-old car.
All right, then hold on. I'll come right back to you. I know what you should do.
They'll still come after salvage and everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The insurance company
pays
pays that.
Right. Where they go with
you know what you do? You sign the title over to them for junk while it's still worth $300-400.
Mark, what I'm saying is, if he signs it over, they almost never come after you if you sign it over.
No, I agree. If he signs it over.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Unless he kept it there like a month and then.
But you know what? They don't have a hard cost in it being there, is what I'm saying. They don't have a hard cost. They don't want to fucking fight this.
But the insurance company is going to want the car because they got to pay for the car.
There is no insurance company.
No, but what about the person who hit him?
There's no insurance company involved, gentlemen.
Oh, there isn't?
No, he only had minimum coverage and he fucked up himself.
But even
he was the cause of the act. It was his fault. Oh, okay.
Even if a fucking car is towed,
yeah,
the insurance company doesn't want the fucking car.
Right.
Well, they will take a little bit.
No, the salvage yard. No, the salvage yard wants it. They have contracts.
Doesn't get reimbursed from the wreck. I mean, we're not talking about. They didn't pay him on the total. They towed the fucking car. They can't collect that back.
Language, buddy.
Denver trial lawyers for catastrophic injuries. You know what? They've had a lot of people come to them, did not realize they had catastrophic injuries.
Did he cause the accident?
I'm talking about the child with a burn injury, $70 million. What about someone hurt by a doctor, $22 million? What about sexual assault from a school district, $5 million? Now, these are actual settlements, or awards, by the way. Not all settlements. Sometimes they're jury verdicts. But here's the point. DenverTrialLawyers.com, not afraid of conflict, not afraid of fighting for your rights. They truly are in it to win it when it comes to you. DenverTrialLawyers.com, 303-647-4435. That's DenverTrialLawyers.com.
No, but the insurance company, they'll get $500 for the salvage.
No, I understand. But they aren't entitled to the salvage because they did not pay for the salvage vehicle. They paid for tow coverage. There is no they don't get.
He didn't have to get minimum.
No. If they paid him, if they totaled the car and paid him, it doesn't matter. They own that fucking salvage. In fact, there have been cases where people think they can part it out and get rid of it. And
exactly. Take the tires off, or
they'll come back and come back and charge you for it. Say, fuck you, we bought that car.
Exactly.
No. He only, if he gets paid, it will only be for the towing, and that's not a subrogatable. They can't come after you.
But if it wasn't his fault and it was other people's fault,
they'll go after the other party maybe. But he didn't mention that.
He didn't. No, he didn't say whether it was his fault or not. And if the other person had insurance, he never mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm slipping. I should have asked that right up front.
Yeah.
You mean I'm slipping, or I should have
Both.
asked?
Both. It's not an either-or question.
Come on.
It's all there.
It's all right.
All there except for the manscaping. Well, I ain't kidding. We walk it, and
I know.
Tom says is absolutely true. I would never shower there. Why would somebody shower there? I dress and go home and shower.
Exactly. I went 40 years without looking at anybody's penis except my own, because all I looked at was women. I did the same thing. I just showered at home.
That's amazing. They'll come out of the hot tub and they'll sit there.
I know.
While they're cooling off.
Because they don't care anymore.
This one. We joked about it, saying that's what we were going to bet for.
I didn't hear you, but is it coffee that you wanted? I'm sorry, the phone rang.
I will be here to do. Daphne, you'll be here, right?
To what?
To do the show with me.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, I'm going to take the truck.
I'll be here tomorrow, Tom.
Okay.
So.
I'll be for my backup, Daphne.
So, okay, it's Mark and Susan. I'll be here for sure.
Okay.
I got new tires.
There you go.
Drive.
I'll tell you, the Subarus are the best deal in town. If you don't care about looking cool, my Subaru gets me.
Your wagon is a Forester?
It's an Outback.
Okay, Forester Outback. Now, what it says, and Mark might have a totally different thing. It says at the most, Castle Rock is going to get 8 inches.
All right, well, don't tell him that, because they don't want to change. He already made the bed.
The reason I don't bet is because he'll bring up some. If you ever heard of this thing,
well, for $50, it's worth it to make him eat crow. It's not going to be 10 inches.
I don't think so, and that's for both days.
Well, it's supposed to be late tonight through midday Tuesday.
Right. That's when the snow's supposed to stop.
So it's not going to be 10 inches.
And I added both days up, and that's where I got maximum both days.
Right.
8 inches.
So we don't want him going out and measuring some snowdrift that's 4 feet.
I need to go shoot something today. I got a video shoot.
Oh,
for what?
Shoot guns.
In gold, and I have to do a client's TV thing.
Wow.
And
well, you better go up right after the show, because the snow's going to come in later.
5
my
o'clock.
wife's going to shoot it.
And I'll bet you a lot of people let people out early.
Yep.
For this.
My buddy's coming into town tonight.
His buddy.
Let me tell you, man.
I hope he's just as kind to me later on.
Listen.
His buddy's in his 80s.
84. This dude still, he's a engineer. I hate even giving him any kind of fucking good. Okay, hold on. He travels too much.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk Eric. Okay, so Eric, your car's total, but it's a piece of junk. You didn't have coverage. It was just a driver. And basically, you towed it to the junkyard. It's stacking up expenses. What a lot of people do in junkyards, not junkyards, but tow companies and associated lots, they are almost always willing to take the title in lieu of anything else. And then they'll just crush it, or they'll use it or part it out or whatever. And that's usually the way you go with a piece of junk. Now, if the insurance paid anything on it, as for not towing, but if they paid on an old car and totaled it, they own it. And it's up to them to, to deal with it. So what's going on?
Yeah, I didn't
Eric, you never told us if there was another car involved and if that car had insurance.
I hit a tree. No other cars involved.
All right. So now that no other cars involved, what was your specific question?
Well, I guess what's the best I can hope from this? Should I just pay the $150, sign over the title, and be done with it, or?
Well, usually when you pay,
because my perspective was, I was going to sign over the title. I wasn't going to pay anything. They were going to actually make some money on the deal. I don't want them to lose money. I know they're a business, but I feel like I should have called AAA, and I had that opportunity. I was told, no, don't bother. Everything's good. And now I come to find out, no, actually, you owe us $150 and the title. Well, see, now that's the unusual part. Usually, they take the title and call everything good. If they want the tow bill, I mean, that's a matter of negotiation. But I'm sorry, Eric, as much as you think you have something, part of your negotiation, unless, I mean, the fact that you should have called AAA is not a powerful argument on your side. I mean, it's, so what? You didn't. I mean, I don't know where to go with that.
It's no argument.
He feels like he was conned or tricked. And I'm telling you, Eric, unless they admit they tricked you, you don't have anything. If you start out saying, well, you guys tricked me to begin with, or I wouldn't have been here, so therefore you shouldn't charge me, it's not going to work.
And the other problem with this entire thing, seriously, Eric, is the cops will move that vehicle pretty quick. Anytime I've ever called up AAA, your window's like 6 hours. It's not going to sit there.
Now they can now they will get another tow company that shows up to move you out away from traffic. It was not a blocking traffic. It was a tree. I jumped the curb. I was not. It was not blocking traffic. Well, then you know what? Guess what, Eric? Yeah. You've helped all the other people that this might happen to, because they will not have to rush to get someone. Now, a cop will not let you keep it there even 4 hours. So if they can't get to you relatively quickly, you need to get someone to move it. But you will always be charged when you get someone to move it. But usually you get retro coverage. If somebody tows you and AAA wasn't available or it was an emergency, AAA sometimes will cover you, or your insurance will cover you. So you're saying you're not going to give it to your insurance because you don't want a record. You don't want a record of it. So then that's a choice you're making. But I don't want to get into this loop. You're not owed anything by the tow company.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I'll just pay the bill and be done with it.
Except,
I just wanted to see.
Except normally though, they will. What did you ask him? Did you say, hey, if I sign over the car, can't you just waive the tow as well, or reduce it? Did they?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what the tow truck driver said. He's like, don't worry about it. They'll waive all fees, and and that's what I was expecting. But no, when they said, well, it was a 2-hour tow. For some reason, they decided to tow it over to East Denver, even though the accident was in Lakewood.
Eric,
so
who knows? But again, he said they're going to waive all fees. And again, don't ever go by what he says or she says. How many times does this happen? I wish to God that people would just remember what they said and admit it. But, Eric, I'm not even so sure you heard what you heard, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm so tired of it. It doesn't matter. When somebody says, this car is reliable, it was one owner, put that on the contract then. If it's important, you put it on the contract. Just put it down.
It kind of reminds me of the mattress I just ordered. Think about it. I was told online that their prices are the same everywhere, so I actually ordered it. Then I found out if I went through a store, it was actually cheaper. So I canceled the online.
Now, normally they are the same, but that was odd. You got some coupons applied, so you canceled.
Yeah, but my point is...
You shopped.
My point is, if I found out after the fact, I'm not going to sue the company, or I'm not going to win if I sue the company for bad information.
No, but here's what I would do.
Actually, maybe I would sue them.
No, not sue them. But if I bought something online and they said the price was the same, then I find at a store there was a $400 coupon. I would call the company and say, look, it wouldn't even matter who said, she said, they said. I'd say, does this seem fair to you? I'm on the phone with your people, and they did not tell me about a coupon or apply a coupon. Wouldn't it have been nice? I could have gotten an extra $400 off by simply going to the store. I think they would give it to you anyway.
Hey, I'm going to pay for your the money you're going to owe me for the snowfall totals. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
You have to call up Sleep Number.
Yes.
This Friday. They're doing free delivery for Black Friday. When you bought yours a couple weeks ago, you get a 30-day price match. If you call up Friday, they're going to refund you $200.
Wow.
Yep.
If I call Friday, my
Friday
bed is
or
be...
Saturday.
Yeah.
That's it. If you don't call Friday and don't call Saturday, they won't refund the $199 setup and delivery.
What you don't realize is you also gave me a couple $100 in merchandise.
Yeah, for you to buy crap.
Because I referred you, so that's good. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I got an email saying, Tom, you're always talking about Blinker.com, and they're not doing financing anymore. You know what's weird? We just talked about this morning, but Suzanne, we got to call them because here's why. The only reason I love them so much and push them, well, no. They have a good procedure. They take care of the transaction for you where you finger sign everything on a smartphone. I love that option, but here's what's weird. One of the most stronger points is if you sell your car through them, if you list your car on Blinker.com and you sell your car through that app or through that website, they can provide financing to the buyer, so it's like you're a dealer, and now I hear they're not doing that anymore.
And I thought that's how they were making money.
That was their main strength, is financing.
Well, they're in talks with a national lender to get it done. The problem right now, if you recall, they were only Colorado, Texas, a handful of states, because the regulations are so different in each state for lending.
Okay.
There's no way to make money. They were making money on the loans.
That's the only way to do it.
Right.
No, then they'd sell the paper. I mean, literally, that was their business model.
Right.
That's basically a lot of models, honestly, is nothing but growth. Or information capture is huge, too.
That could be
something. I can't believe all that they do for you, and that app is so good.
Oh, it is. Very simple.
It's not that simple.
Well,
trust me, we're developing a fucking app. There's nothing simple about an app.
No.
What I'm saying is...
No, my God, I never said it was simple.
Simple to use.
No, he said it was simple.
I said simple to use.
Oh, you mean for the
They
first
make it intuitive. You're right. They do a great job.
Now, could a simpleton use it?
Yes.
Well, okay.
Then we're good.
You did it.
Wait.
Oh, you.
Okay.
He got one in.
I got one.
He got one in.
Okay, hold on.
I cry foul.
All right, let's talk about Fix It 24/7. Why do I love the Let Me Count the Waves? The $39 find any problem. $39 if they find, well, not if. They will find it, they guarantee it, and then present you with solutions. That's plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. If you decide to have it done, they credit you the $39. If you don't have it done, that's all you pay is $39, so that's quality. Then let's talk about this, the $39 clean and check and refurbishment of your furnace. If you are a new customer, because of course it's more if you're not, because they've already introduced you to this. They want to introduce you to how wonderful their company is. So it's a one-time offer, $39. I love them for those reasons, but also for the free second opinions. And this time of the year, that's the most important thing, because they'll tell you if you need something or not. And guess what? They have to tell you the truth, right? I mean, they have to. They're good anyway, but here's the deal. If they say something's broken, it's not. They got to prove it. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939.
What was that article you were reading there? Was that
there is a new there's a new theory, and it's very interesting.
I have Andrew Price on.
In fact, it's so interesting for this reason. People in middle school, all the way up through a doctorate in economics, have been asking this question their entire lives. Ready? Why can't we just print money to pay off debt? Why? And there's a new theory saying, yes, it won't affect shit, which is a very scary fucking theory, is what the feds are saying. No, but really,
that's just hyperinflation, devaluing the currency. That's all.
Every South American country's done it.
Right.
And the U.S. can do it to a certain point, and they do it.
Well, they do the quantitative easing.
We have more money in circulation every year.
Right, but when your GDP is so big, you can do that, whereas they couldn't down
But
there.
that's the whole thing. Why not? They're saying there would be no negative growth by doing it. And I'm just talking a handful of people. I'm not talking the majority. I'm not talking the feds. The feds are saying the opposite. The feds are saying eventually the fucking entire thing will collapse.
Sure, of course.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's just hyperinflation, that's all.
Right.
I mean, you can't keep printing
money. I
money.
don't know why we don't go negative interest rates sometimes. I'm not saying we need to do it right now. But I'm saying like in, let's say 09, 10, when we were down around zero and everybody was going bankrupt in the foreclosures, why weren't we doing negative interest rates? Why?
I don't think we ever got to zero.
No, we didn't. That's what I'm saying. Why? No, fuck zero. Why not negative?
Right. Well, so who is going to lend money for negative?
The feds.
Okay.
That's the only one.
And it's in between banks. And
that makes the banks loan at fucking zero,
so
and they still make money.
Well, of course the banks make money, but not the feds.
Of course not, but the feds are printing the fucking money.
I see what you're saying. They're printing. And so is that how Japan? Because Japan went.
I'm saying when people are struggling during the foreclosure period, if they did have income, but they're in a 7% balloon or 11% balloon, if they could have refied out of that shitty arm or balloon that's ready to pop into a fucking zero, the banks are still making 2% if it's negative 2. Problem fucking solved in theory.
Well.
But who?
Well, it sure wasn't handled right. I don't give a fuck who was in office.
But like I say, if that happened at that time, who's to say that the people can still make their payments?
Well, that's what I said. I justified all that.
Okay.
A lot of people were up against balloons because they were morons. They bought into a 3-year balloon or a 3-year arm that was at 3% of balloons.
Right, because they thought they'd...
Balloon, let me go get the helicopter.
They thought they'd flip it and pay off the mortgage.
Balloon boy? You were the only one that thought that kid was in that balloon.
And sometimes they did 125% of value.
Yeah.
Then they could do 125%.
I know. They wanted... Who fucking Tom used to say something that was so true. All they did was sell their house on the fucking overtime plan.
And then they won.
In fact, a lot of times they made more than what they could have sold their house for.
One woman, I swear to God, bought her house for $200,000.
Yeah.
Had 600 in loans.
$600 or $600,000?
600,000 in loans after years and years taking out for a second. Then it was being foreclosed, and she goes, "Help me keep my home. They stole my home." She bought it for $200,000. I said, "Yeah, you made more per year than if you worked."
Than if anybody did. Yeah, I know.
I was so pissed when people, and
people don't get it though. They just
don't. People are complaining about a recession. They all made. Very seldom did people lose money when they lost their home. Now, I don't know many people that lost their home and lost money.
Right.
They're just fucking crying.
Right.
Because they didn't make their fucking payments.
Right. Now, even the
well, because they were giving them loans with no income. No income loans.
They put in 20,000. It went up to 300,000, and then it went down to zero.
They lost 20, not 400.
Exactly.
No, I agree with that.
Enron thing.
There was some people that got out at the right time.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Andrew Price is with Blinker because I was talking about the financing. I got an email on it. And, Andrew, I think one of the most attractive features of Blinker was that when I sell my car on Blinker, the person buying it can get a loan. So therefore, it's like being a dealer. I could put my car in there, and if people don't have the cash, and seldom people do, or if they have a loan somewhere else, it's so difficult to do the paperwork. And I love that we could do it all with Blinker. And then you guys stopped financing, and that's what I got the email about. Where do you guys stand right now with financing?
Yeah, you bet. Thank you, Tom, for calling, and good morning. Yeah, the update on that is we've put a pause on taking on new loans. So if you have a loan with Linker, we still service that, same as we have in the past. But with new loans, we paused on that so that we could offer basically a better service or a better product, really, for a wider range of credit scores. And in the process of where we stand in that process is we've been about 2 months into an integration with a few different lenders so that we can lend direct to their platform. And hopefully we'll be back online here within, let's say, another 4 weeks.
Okay.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I sold 2 cars through them, man.
Has it affected your activity because there's no loan available right now?
Yeah, it definitely has. And that is the business model that we want to be in. So we've actually slowed down on the marketing too, so that we're not bringing people in so that they're, we want them to know that we're a great lender and that we offer a great service. So,
if they ever
so you're rebuilding basically.
If they ever went public, they are, and I mean this, they are not a car dealer, they are not a car resales, they are a technology company by far.
Right. Yep. And I think that the offering that we can give them will be much better, and it will allow us to scale larger because, as you know, early on we were lending those, a lot of those loans were coming off of our own paper. And so just to be able to scale that at the speed in which customers were excited to use it, we need to attach the system to some much larger lenders that will allow it to scale.
Thank you.
I got a quick question. It's outside of the realm, but when you hold paper on an automobile like that, when you sell it, do you usually get 3 years the interest, or what's the general calculation, Andrew?
Like, we want to know when dealers originate loans or people originate loans, is it a big moneymaker for them?
I don't know about big money maker, but it is a source of revenue, and we can do the same, or we originate the loan and then we will transfer that to another lender. And that's kind of what we're trying to do now with this system, is set it up so we're not doing that anymore. We'll just be lending based on their stipulations, and it will be a loan direct with
just
that
like
lender.
The mortgage companies do.
We'll collect a flat fee on that. Probably pretty minimal. But it'll be a nice service for the buyer.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that. 303-713-TALK, 713-825.
They're truly a disruptor, and people don't realize it yet because they haven't gone big. You know who's behind this thing, the guy that started Elway back in the day, or John.
No, they're a disruptor in that.
AutoNation.
People might say, well, what's the big whoop? Because Cars.com and all those others, Mark, they are so far ahead as far as the buying and selling. But when it comes to that lending, that's the biggest deal. And those guys at Cars.com and all that don't do all the paperwork for you.
No, they don't do crap unless you pay them extra. Joe Blow, sitting there in his chair, can grab his cell phone, go to his car he wants to sell, and open it up not only for a cash sale, but for anybody with a bad credit score, a medium credit score, or a great credit score, and sell it.
Right. And then when they sell it, you remember how we used to say, what do I do? How do I get this? How do I get that? They do all of the paperwork and send it to you sequentially for you to sign, and with an explanation of what you're doing. You sign it on your phone. The buyer does the same thing, and they do all the paperwork. Can you believe that?
And they get you a free Carfax, so you see if it will never be in a bad accident.
And they don't charge anything.
Zero, man.
Wow. Now, speaking of this, Bryce has a car title issue. Bryce, what's going on with you?
Hey, Tom, I know you have talked about this in the past, but I just can't remember what you said.
Yeah.
My wife is on her brother's car title.
Yeah.
Because she helped him buy it years ago, and we just recently paid it off for him, and she got the title. But she was wondering if he has an accident, can someone go after her because she's on the title?
Good question. Hold on. We'll get our insurance experts. You've probably seen those.
Why would they want to?
Is Fuller available by phone? Okay, we need to call him about liability when you're on title. I always hear that, but I don't know if that's really true.
What was it? I didn't hear.
That if you're an owner of a car, you help your son buy a car. Now you're both on the title. That fucking person gets in an accident. Are you truly going to be sued for being on title? That's what I mean.
What's the reality?
Yes,
of
I would say yes.
Why
the
isn't
reality
bank
of
being
liability?
sued then if they won't have the title to a part
That's
of the
a very
financing?
good question.
I'll tell you why. Lobbyists.
Why?
Your call is very important.
Now, granted, this is a great question.
It is.
I think.
And I think I'm glad I came up.
Hey, Jack.
It's a great question.
Well, they both do that.
You should be
Oh,
wearing
yeah, you're right.
scrubs.
The other one is
Then
just
we
a
can call you
downspout.
Doc. I feel a hard time calling you Doc
that's
without
right
scrubs.
over
I wore scrubs
the
for
glass.
40 years.
Yeah, but
Aren't they
sliding
comfortable?
door.
No?
The other
They're
one
great.
is over air.
So why don't you should be wearing them around?
Nah. I never wore scrubs outside the hospital.
Yeah,
I always
what they
thought
would do,
I always thought it
my
was
son might be home. I mean, his day off is today. But regardless,
pretentious
they can go right through the backyard
to wear
fence
scrubs or a white
and
coat
then right
outside.
Up the deck stairs.
You don't want to draw attention to
And I
yourself.
shoveled
You know.
it great last night.
Lieutenant
so
Schultz,
it should be
every
nice
time
and
he
dry
comes
with
in.
the
Who?
exception of
The head guy
the
for
roof
Lieutenant
would have
Schultz.
Oh yeah.
He comes in scrubs.
You know what's great about scrubs? Every day you just go to the hospital when you go for breakfast, and you just get a new pair. You don't have no cleaning bills.
Oh really?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
house
What
has
the nurses do?
electrical
I thought the
outlets
nurses
all
have to
around
pay for
the
their own.
eaves.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yep.
But
they built it
no, we
knowing
just
that
we
they
just
would
they
never
have
get
it in the OR.
sunlight
Just pick up a new pair of scrubs
back
every
in the
day,
house anyways.
and you never have any cleaning bills. My wife used to get so upset. She said, you know, they give you free lunch, free breakfast, free dinner.
They give you free lunches and dinners?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate
Well,
it.
because they want you to work at the hospital. They want you to bring your cases there. So she said, you know, the poor janitors who are working for minimum wage, they have to go. They have to go to the cafeteria.
Start over.
Oh, my wife used to say it was really weird because we would get free breakfast, lunch, or dinner
Where?
at the hospital.
Oh, what's
And she
that?
said the poor janitors who are working for minimum wage, they have to go to the cafeteria and pay. They had a separate doctor's
wait
dining
a minute,
room.
though, Doc. Hold on.
What?
This is a stupid argument. I think that's perfect, and I'll tell you why. You are not an expense to the hospital.
Exactly.
You made money for the
We
hospital.
bring-
The
that's right.
janitor is truly an expense.
Right, and we bring the money in,
Yeah.
and they want you to be able to.
It'd be the same in a football team. You pay the
Exactly.
players their revenue. The fucking guy cleaning the locker room is
Right.
No.
Right.
It would be like, I bet that's not a very good one. The announcer would be what? You wouldn't charge the announcer for coming on in there because they're actually broadcasting, making the money for the team.
Well, it depends on whether you're a revenue generator or a revenue expense.
You're
It's simple.
either an expense or a generator,
Right.
and a janitor is always going to be an expense.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just how any business is.
Exactly.
Unless you own Molly Maids. Then
Right.
the maids are actually your generation. They're making you money.
But no, she just thought it was funny that we.
See, what
we
I
get-
do, though, is I put an end to that shit. I said, Suzanne, you will fucking clean this house, and you'll do it now, girl.
And I want breakfast on the table.
Yep, and I want a fucking sandwich come noon.
No, it got started because I told Clint that we never, we just changed scrubs every day. You never had any cleaning.
so
I wore
scrubs, you
scrubs
just go get new
for
scrubs.
40 years.
I got scrubs at home. I bought scrubs. I
But
totally
we got
forgot
a fresh set every day. I just go in, have breakfast,
Then you
change.
throw them out?
No, you put it in the laundry.
Just like a uniform.
Yeah, but the hospital, provides you scrubs.
Next time we have
You could
Centeno
take
in,
them
I'm wearing
What?
You could take.
Oh, I had a couple sets at home, yeah, because if I got called in to do a delivery.
So is there a color differential for doctors,
No.
nurses?
No.
There's not.
No.
Really? So you can go in there and see different colored ones, and you kind of say, okay, that's a doctor.
Well, they're
No.
generally all blue, right?
No. There's blue, there's green, there's
No,
red.
they're different. It depends on what the
It's the
what the
hospital.
supply company brings that day.
Okay. Really?
Sometimes they'll be green, sometimes blue. There's
Is
no.
there anything weird like orange or no? Like
No, the
red or
nurses
orange?
sometimes have their own. They'll buy, like different
I've seen like
patterns.
red.
Well,
Yeah.
like right at the outlet malls, there's a whole
Yeah.
fucking store for that
Right,
shit.
right.
See, I always thought there was a hierarchy, like in the military, where they have your.
No, I'll tell you what you can tell a fake doctor. If they keep their stethoscope around their neck, it's a fake doctor.
Why is that?
Because when you're walking around, it falls off. Everybody keeps their
When I wear my
stethoscope
scrubs,
in their
what
pocket.
should I wear that really says
Yeah.
doctor?
You need a white coat
A white coat over your.
over your
scrubs?
scrubs, right?
I don't have the white coat. I got the scrubs. They're black. I don't know why I got
Black scrubs. Never heard of them.
Kramer.
I'm
Kramer
wearing-
had the white
Not
coat.
genuine. Not genuine.
You know
Oh,
what?
when he was with the slicer.
You said you were going to get a slicer and you get a white scope.
I'd love a little mini slicer.
You
I
probably-
would buy regular pepperoni and
Yeah,
slice it
yeah.
if it was.
They probably think you're a Viet Cong if you walk around in black scrubs.
I
You get one of those cone hats, you look just like a Viet Cong.
You look like Cong.
Yeah, is that what they wore?
Yeah, they did. That's all they always call
I like
dark
pajamas.
I like dark mode.
Doc, some of the hardest shit I ever did was fixing helicopters in
Oh,
the middle of those rice paddies. Those fucking gooks would be shooting at me. It was the fucking bullshit deal.
You'd tell them to stop, and they wouldn't.
Hey, hold up! I'm fixing a tail rotor.
I'm a mechanic.
I got so lucky. I told you I had a collapsed lung 2 weeks before my Army physical.
Oh my God.
And they just went, I showed them my x-rays.
How'd you collapse it?
It took a while. You had the Chinese woman
Right.
doing the stuff.
I showed them my x-rays and they said, don't come back.
How did it collapse?
What? It's very common in tall, thin males.
Really?
Yeah, my son had one, my nephew had one, I know.
Yeah, but you're just walking around in a collapse?
You bought it, for some reason, you have these little blisters on the outside of your lung. And then when one of them breaks, every time you take a breath in, the air gets trapped inside your chest cavity, and every time you do it, it collapses your lung more and more.
That's crazy.
So the coolest thing is they stick a needle in you here. Whoosh. Remember when you're over...
Thomas, I gotta leave at 1:10.
No, but
Jay
that's
Press's guy
temporary relief.
Some of the shit he did.
How did they fix you then?
Well, there are different, a whole bunch of different methods.
Some medication?
Yeah,
No, sometimes they just...
The back of my house.
They can sew it up. Sometimes they let it heal by itself. Sometimes they put something in that makes it attached to the chest wall so it can't collapse.
Did you slowly
feel that there was
the one over the door?
You know, I was
it is not
21 years old.
at all.
I thought I pulled a muscle playing ball.
So, right
I
now,
walked around for
I'm
a week
literally
with this horrible back pain. And I'm thinking, it must have been something playing football or basketball. And then finally I got so short of breath.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If I don't do it, literally, my drywall will come in.
You can't even wait.
If you have two collapsed lungs, you're going to die.
Look at this.
Right?
Yeah, but it's very rare. I had 2 collapsed lungs, but they were 5 years apart.
He gave me a good deal, but this shit's
after they fixed the first one, the first one couldn't collapse anymore.
Oh, yeah. I see it, yeah. That doesn't look terrible, though.
Something can happen.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show anywhere that gets involved in your everyday life. Not your politics, not your religion, not your, squabbles about that. We're talking about everyday life, the things that tick you off, the things that make you tick. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We're going to take your questions. RealCBDThatWorks.com is the CBD I highly endorse. The CBD products, with or without THC, even with THC, won't make you high. But seriously, I don't want to ever represent products that don't do what they say. And I say I'm totally transparent here. I would say that 9 out of 10 people that use it love it, and the other ones say, well, it made me feel pretty good. It didn't do this much or that much. And I'm positive that we all have different levels of cannabinoid receptors. That must be it. But I will say this, that, gosh, we had so many people come through our offices with products that never did anything or work. And RealCBDThatWorks.com, Panacea Life Sciences, works. Now, did you have something on your mind?
I do, man. I am a skeptic at heart, as you know.
For what?
Just anything, man. Anything that I refer to as snake oil or I don't know about. We went to our neighbor's 70th birthday party last week. She turned 70. I've known this gal for a while. She got on CBD probably about 6 months ago. She couldn't stop talking about it.
Which one did she get?
I didn't even ask her brands.
Okay.
I didn't ask her brands, but I did not know.
Because all genuine CBD works.
As long as it's genuine CBD. And
the problem with
that's why Panacea is good.
That's right, because...
Well, they have their own lab.
It works. I mean, that's what somebody asked. He says, well, what CBD should I get? If you truly get CBD, and the lab knows what they're doing, it's going to work. So I'm not, there's no magic. It's CBD that does the job. God made CBD or whatever, the plant. And here's the deal. It's only because people just don't extract it properly or they don't have the right labs.
She says her arthritis pain, she takes one at night, one during the day, or one in the morning. She says her arthritis pain is about 90% better than she's dealt with.
You should get the name of it. As I said, it's the one that we love. And I tried dozens and dozens, and who knows, there might be another one out there. So anyway, RealCBDThatWorks.com for sure. Bob's got a question about the windfall act or program. I don't even know what he's talking about. And then I looked it up. And Bob has, and we have our expert here from APO Financial. So, Bob, what was your question about? Did you encounter this or something?
Yes, sir. First, thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. You guys are great. So here's what happened. The majority of my life, I've worked paying into Social Security. In 2007, I went to work for the state of Colorado, actually Colorado Division of Wildlife at that time, where you pay into PARA.
And for those listening, PARA is its own retirement.
Exactly. They contribute into it, and you contribute every paycheck into your retirement also. So I retired from Colorado Parks and Wildlife in 2007. At that time, let me start back a little bit. Previous to that, I had put in for Social Security when I reached 64 or something like that. Because actually, when I went in to talk to the folks at PARA, they said, "Are you collecting Social Security?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Oh, well, you ought to do that. You can do it." And I said, "Okay, fine." So I did that, and when I did that, I spoke to a gentleman at the Social Security office up in Green Mountain, told him that at some point I was going to be retiring. And he says, "Well, when you retire," he says, "are you familiar with the Windfall Act?" And I said, "I have no idea what that is." So basically, he explained it to me, and this was passed.
How did he explain it? Go ahead. How did he explain the Windfall Act?
Okay. What he said was Ronald Reagan, back in like 1986 or something like that, had signed into law that actually Ronald Reagan, I guess, looked at it as double dipping. So if you pay into Social Security, but you also have a retirement that you pay into with PARA, you can't collect the full amount on both. You're only entitled to a certain amount of the money, even though it's all your money.
Well, first of all, you're right about it's your money that you've contributed, but it's not just PARA. If you have two government sanctioned plans, you can't collect two full payments. But I want to talk to John Goodhue at APO Financial. John is one of our financial advisors. Now, we happen to ask him about Social Security because they have plenty of clients at apofinancial.com that are retired or nearing retirement. So, John, when people, let's say, work for PARA, for the state or schools, they have their own retirement, right?
Right.
If you worked only for an organization that contributed to PARA, you would technically not be eligible for any Social Security, right?
Right, because you never paid into it.
Now, if you pay into Social Security, you have to do a certain amount. How much is that to get the minimum? What is it? Do you know?
Well, you have to pay in 40 quarters into the qualifying amount, which is not very much per year, quite frankly, to qualify for Social Security.
40 quarters. Okay. And then if you worked 40 quarters, you're eligible there. If you worked for PARA a long enough time, you're eligible there. So what is the Windfall Act as you see it?
Sure. Well, everybody calls it WEP, the Windfall Elimination Provision. And basically, if you have Social Security earnings and you have a pension from PARA, for example, it's not necessarily a total knockout provision. If you have 20 qualifying years into Social Security, and you don't have more than 20 or lower, then what's going to happen is, and you have PARA, for example, they're going to offset it. This year it's about $130 is the max per month that they'll take away from your Social Security. So you don't totally eliminate your Social Security. Now, for every qualifying year from year 20 to 30, they're going to give you a little bit of that Social Security back. If you have 30 qualifying years paid into Social Security and you have PARA, you get 100% of your Social and 100% of your PARA.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically how it works.
Do you have any specific questions, Bob?
Yes, I do. Okay, so when I spoke to the gentleman at Social Security, he told me, he says, well, at some point we may be getting a hold of you to let you know how much you're going to be penalized. That's the word that he used. He said, under the Windfall Act. Well, so, and he says, if you don't hear anything in a while, there's not going to be anything forthcoming. So earlier this year in February, I received a letter from Social Security, and I believe I sent all that information to
And
you.
it says we need additional information, basically.
Right. And so if you look at that letter, it says, well, there's two different ones. Well, this would be the one dated February 11th. And it says, if you have received an increase in your monthly federal, state, or local pension in January 2018 or later, please provide the following information.
Okay, but what's the big deal? They're just making sure they're applying it properly.
Right. Well, I didn't receive a pension. Here's the different case with me. I'm not receiving a pension from the state. I took a lump sum.
Oh,
okay.
What happens that, John?
Yeah, they still take that they take that lump sum, and the Social Security was notified when you did that, and they'll take the lump sum and they'll basically take it over your lifetime actuarially as if you did take your pension, and then they'll do the same kind of offset under WEP as if you'd taken the pension on a monthly basis.
Okay, well, I guess where I'm having a problem is I have these papers.
How do you don't know how to fill them out because you've already taken it and they have already prorated it. So why don't you just write that in there saying I took lump sum of this much money, which was already counted against me.
Right, and so you haven't. What they're asking about is any increase, and you haven't had an increase.
No, you haven't had an increase.
No, I haven't had an increase, but I don't know. Because they're asking me, it says that according to this letter, let me see what it says.
Listen, man, I know what you're talking about. Are you receiving your pension? Okay, and it says and or a payout. Yes. And if yes, right. Okay, when did you first become eligible? Just fill it out. And the next one is, if yes, what month did you become enlisted? I mean, or payout. It says payout. What your concern is right there. Just put it down, man. I mean, they're asking very plain questions.
Right. Okay. I guess. Well, here's where I got nervous. And when you get to looking on the internet, I seen some.
Just quickly, tell us where you got nervous. Very quickly.
Okay, that one person was saying that they actually fined him because he had been getting the total amount. They hadn't entered it into the record, and so he.
But that's not your case.
I'm sorry, what?
That's not your case. You're not getting it. I mean, he was getting it and not reporting it. I think, listen, I think that you're nervous because of just that, looking at cases that don't apply to you. You got a lump sum. They've already applied it. There's been no change. They even note that in the questions. They say payment and or payout. It's taken care of. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, John Kutchu, AP as in Peter, Alpha Peter Oscar. It's APOFinancial.com, 720-588-2000. We got more coming right up.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's Michael Brown.
A Hunter Biden linked firm had received.
But even if you really think about it, man, that's not a bad deal. If you max out Social Security and they only subtract $100 a month, and you're pulling a full para or something,
right?
How does Social Security work with retirement from the military?
Military has its own.
Fix it 24/7. FixMyHome.com. This is really important because with a storm coming with winter weather, if you're told you need something like a furnace, a water heater, a boiler. Oh, did I mention they do boilers? They have great boiler people. I got one there. By the way, if you're told you need something new or a major repair, they do free second opinions. You can never lose with a second opinion because if they say you don't need this, you need this, it has to be able to work. If they say that's not a bad deal, they have to be able to show you a better deal. You can hold their feet to the fire. Fix it 24/7. FixMyHome.com. And this is where it all gets to your benefit.
You will never be sold something you don't need because you've already been told what you need or what they think you need, and Fix It will give their opinion. And there's nothing wrong with a company wanting to win your business. You win when that happens. 720-526-3939, 720-526-3939.
Pretty cool, huh?
No, here's what I mean. Let's say you go in at 18.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You go in at 18,
Right.
you get out at 38.
Okay.
So you're whatever it is, 75% pension. 50% pension.
For what?
Then you work wherever the fuck for 30 years. 38, 48, 58, 68. Yeah, that's fine. So then you'd get full Social Security and full 50%.
Not only that, you pay Social Security while you're in the military.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, so it counts towards it.
Yes. The pension is only, but you only get the pension.
But you don't
you
pay
get
toward
zero.
You don't pay towards your military.
You know what's funny?
Other than being in the military.
Right.
Yeah, 20 years though is a nice one. And you get 50% of whatever you exit at.
Right.
That's why that one guy was really going to get screwed.
Exactly.
They demoted that fucker.
Exactly.
That's why they always do that when you hear about these cases where they part of the penalty is
It's a punishment.
is demoting you so your pension gets
But
reduced.
that's only good if you're in long.
20, you got to be 20 years.
If you're in 5 years, it don't matter.
So if you be 25 years, you still
That's
only
what I
get
said.
20. You only still only get 50%. Then you get 30 years, you get 75%, and that's the max.
Really?
Yeah. 30
What's
years.
the most a person can get? Like, he said you can get full social and full para under a certain condition.
30 years. If you have 30 years of.
It all depends.
Social Security.
Of each one.
Well, 30.
No,
I don't know what
just-
para is.
I think para you get paid regardless.
I don't know what para is.
I don't think it matters because everybody's is different. Not with Social Security, there's a max on there. But I'm saying with para, I think everybody's is different. In other words, a principal or someone high up is going to get more than a teacher.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but you know what they do with
There's
the
no
teachers?
max. There might be a max for everybody in whatever level, but there's not a max like Social Security.
But you have to work a certain number of years before you get.
I'm sure you do.
In military, it's all based upon your rank exiting.
But Mark, with para, if you only work here 5 years, would you still get a retirement?
I'm sure you would.
I
But
think
probably
you might
took a
not get a
buyout.
retirement, but you probably get a
Yeah,
buyout.
They probably offer it to you, but it'd be very much a reduced retirement. But the Social Security, you got to be your top 35 years.
Top 40 quarters.
35.
Top 10
no,
years.
no. You can't collect anything till you've done 40 quarters.
Right.
But it's your top 35 years.
Okay, so if you only do 10 years and you top out, you get full.
No.
You don't.
No.
Wait, if you put in 40 quarters, 10 years at, let's say you make $100,000 a year.
That's not
for 10
maxed
out. Just say
okay.
you maxed out.
Say you maxed out.
Just say you maxed
okay.
out. Okay.
So you can't collect your maximum after?
No.
Why?
No, because they're going to base
How
it on.
many quarters are max?
They're going to base it on 35 years. They're going to take that 20, those 40 quarters and
Dan,
what you're.
Dan, if I worked from 65 to 65, and that's the only time I ever worked in my life.
65 to 65.
55 to
Okay.
65. I worked those 10 years, $200,000 a year.
Okay.
I max out for those 10.
Right.
Then I'm forced to start taking it because I'm 65, or whatever year you're forced to take it.
Okay.
Do I not get max?
No.
Well, what is the minimum requirements for max?
35 years of max. There would be maxed out.
No, that's not
No.
true.
Yes, it is.
Wait, let me take
No,
I maxed out my Social Security. I didn't have 35 years of max payment because when I was a resident and an intern, I wasn't making shit. But I had, let me finish. I had 20 years of max out. Let's say.
Sure.
Okay, but not 35.
And you're maxed, right?
And I'm maxed out at Social
I'll bet
Security.
you're not. I'll bet you're not.
Why do you think he's wrong?
Because
He's got a doctorate.
It doesn't matter.
You're an engineer.
It doesn't matter.
I will guarantee you I'm maxed out.
Wait,
okay.
Amazon bet.
Okay. It'll be very close probably, but 20 years of max does not max you out. They take your top 35 and do it.
No, I don't
No.
think. I don't think he's right either.
All right,
I
I'll
don't
check
think
it.
he's
I'll come in tomorrow and show you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Now his age could be different than.
No.
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 He's
Now,
like a fucking parrot.
wait. But the one criteria is when you retire. So if I retired at 67.
Well, that's your max possible.
Right, because the 67, your income they don't deduct for income.
Yes.
So you can make $10 million a year and get the max benefit at 67.
It's not a 67.
No. Let me finish.
He did it.
If I waited till 70,
That's max.
that's max. But The max at 67 I'm getting without having 35 years maxed out.
Right.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John Fuller is our personal injury expert, especially when it comes to automobile injuries, and we do have an issue here. And I wanted to always ask this question because it comes up all the time. Now, Bryce brought it up. Bryce, hey, man, you're here. Your wife bought a car, or you guys bought a car for your son, is that right?
No. My wife's brother bought a car. We helped him buy it.
Oh, you helped the brother. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
so
I don't know if it's different. I don't know if it's different with a child or not, but we'll ask John. So let's just ask one at a time. So, John, Bryce's wife, what's her name?
Janet.
Janet? All right. So, John, Janet bought a car with her brother, and she's on title. Okay. Why did she get on title? Did you guys help with the loan?
Yes.
Okay. So now what we need to know, John, plain and simple, does the mere fact that she's on title open up liability to her?
It could.
Really?
Yeah, it could, in the sense that, if you could allege that or, something along those lines, let's say the other driver was a horrible driver.
Hold on. We're just having too much trouble. Daphne, help us out if you can. Just talk to him off the air, please, and see if we can get a hold of him better. Bryce, I'm not picking up what he's saying, so I need to know. And even if you can get the information and relate it to us, Daphne, that would be good. Or, Mark, maybe you can ask John. But here's the deal. Once we reestablish that contact, we'll get right to him. Chris was fired. I don't know if there's anything we can do, but I know when people are fired, it's traumatic. And I want to ask, Daphne, because of the connection, if you want to paraphrase what he says, it would be good. What's going on, Chris? What's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, man. What's going on?
All right. Well, here's what's going on. I work for this company, and our paydays are the 15th and the last day of the month. Well, the 15th came up, and I did not receive the direct deposit to my bank account as scheduled for our paydays.
Gotcha.
I get it. Things happen. I figure, maybe they'll have some paper checks for us. I get up, and I go to work for my scheduled shift.
So there was no deposit on the 15th of November?
That's correct.
Okay, go ahead.
That is okay. So I show up for my scheduled shift, and I request to speak with my supervisor in the office just to discuss my paycheck.
Sure.
And he says, yeah, there's a problem and this and that. And we have our words. I say, okay, Clint. I said, can you just look me in the eye and tell me that I'll receive my paycheck by the end of the workday? And he says, I can't do that. I said, well, then I can't clock in, Clinton. If you can't pay me for the 80 hours I've worked, I'm not really confident to go ahead and clock in for the next day.
Do you have reason to believe that you're not going to be paid?
I did, only because he couldn't reassure me. I said, can you look me in the eye and tell me I'll get my funds by the end of the day? And he said no. And
okay, so in other words, is this the first time you have ever had this problem?
Nope. We had payroll issues in the past with them already.
All right, so where are we going with this? What happened?
Okay, so here it is. And so we parted ways from the office. I told him I'm not going to clock in. He said, okay, I'm going to call you when I get it figured out. I said, as soon as it's figured out, I'll return for my shift. He said, okay.
Mark, listen, excuse me. I need to get to the point, Chris, because I know you had a lot of back and forth. Were you fired? Let's get to it.
The point is I'm unemployed right now, Tom, and they're telling me that.
All right, why are you unemployed? You still didn't tell me the story, Chris. Why are you unemployed?
Okay. Because he didn't get his paycheck, so he decided he wanted to quit because he was afraid he wouldn't get the next one.
Chris, did you quit?
No, I never quit my job, and they... According
you
to
just
them,
said you wouldn't clock in, though.
Okay, hold on.
Correct. Until I received my check, or until I could be assured that I would receive my check.
Here's what I'd like to know. Were you fired, or are you still an employee?
here's the 100% honest answer, Tom. I am no longer an employee, but I was not fired. They are saying it's called job abandonment.
That's okay. They're saying you quit.
He did when he refused to work. That's quitting.
Here, we have two separate issues, and I know you have them connected, and I need to tell you something so you understand this, okay? I understand your stance on not working because you were not paid. I understand that, okay? But when you did not go to work, you abandoned your job. Now, the reason they're taking that stance is because they don't want to pay unemployment. Because they're not firing you, but you did not show up. You abandoned the job.
No. Here, I did show up, Tom. Did you look up the definition of job abandonment?
Chris, if you just listen to me, you'll be miles ahead. I'm just telling you, when you did not do the job. I know you showed up. I know why you didn't work. I understand. You don't have to repeat it. They did not have the money for the 15th. You did not want to work without pay. I understand it. But in their eyes, you abandoned the job. And quite possibly, legally, you abandoned the job. Now, whether it was abandoned or you're fired is an argument for you. But here's the deal. Being paid, as crazy as this sounds, is not an excuse to abandon your job if they say we promise to pay you. Now, if you went through these proper steps, what you should have done is contact the Department of Labor and go and get paid if they weren't going to pay you. But, Chris, by not clocking in, you did abandon your job. I'm sorry about that. I know what you're going to say. I had a good excuse.
I do. But here's the thing. If he'd have looked me in the eye and said, if you don't clock in today, you're going to lose your job. He didn't. He was reassuring me.
Chris, but what does he want anyhow? Do you want your job back, or are you looking for unemployment? What are you looking for?
Even if they offered me my job back, I wouldn't take it. I wanted to know, legally, and they're withholding my check, right? They said, oh, you don't work here. I said, well, where's my final check?
Chris, you don't work there anymore. They did not fire you, so that's why your check's not prepared. You have to make arrangements to pick it up. Chris, listen, you're going to lose this battle, except I think you can get unemployment. Here's what I think you can do. I think that Colorado Wage and Hour will side with you. They're very, very lenient toward employees. Here's what you say. The paycheck, believe it or not, has nothing to do with it, really. You're going to say you did not show up for work for a good reason. You weren't getting paid. Okay, but now they won't pay me. They say I abandoned my job. I say I've been fired. Okay? In other words, Chris, if you went back there today, would they let you work, or tomorrow? Would they let you work?
No.
Okay, then you were fired. Your stance is going to be you were fired. I had someone not show up for work. Oh, no, she actually walked out in the middle of the show because she was pissed off. This was years ago. She got so listen to this. I fired her for cause. There's no unemployment, right, when you fire for cause, right?
That's correct.
They said it was an adequate cause. And I said, but she abandoned, I exactly said those words, she abandoned her post. She claimed she was having an emotional problem, blah, blah, blah. So here's the point. They could fire you for cause. I don't know why they're not. They have a good cause, you not showing up. I think they would win, but they're idiots. They're being told not to fire you under any circumstances because you're going to collect unemployment. What they don't understand is by not firing you for cause, they're allowing you to appeal it. Well, you could have appealed it anyway. You need to go and file for unemployment, and you're going to claim you were fired, and then they're going to investigate, and you're going to win, because I do think you were fired, Chris.
Okay.
So here's the other thing.
And Tom, I just want to hear that, I'm ethically, I feel like I'm right.
Well, you're right.
No, Chris, listen. Chris, listen. If I showed up and iHeart did not have and I'm not an employee. Let's say I was an employee. I don't think, by refusing to work is truly abandoning your job.
But he's got a hell of an argument.
Yes, but what he should do is say this. if I am not paid by the end of the month, you give them time or you give them 2 weeks. Abandoning your job like that, in my opinion, was wrong the way you did it that day. Okay? It's just wrong.
We had someone actually steal. Listen to this.
But I know what you're saying, Chris. You're saying you're not trying to be a jerk. You just wanted to get paid. I understand that. Go ahead, Mark.
There's people that have stolen from us, literally used the company credit card to buy liquor and cigarettes.
Right.
They got fired, and they still got unemployment.
No, here's what.
And I'll tell you why. Because Colorado unemployment, when it comes to the employer, they suck. They'll always side with the other guy.
They do.
Even if they're thieves.
They do. They side with employees. Do you know somebody actually asked me at the late wage and hour over something? Well, do you have, honest to God, they asked this. Well, you fired them for stealing. Okay. Do you have a policy against stealing? I swear to God, I was asked the question, do you have and I said, excuse me? Do I have a policy against stealing?
Do we have one now?
Or was it, wait a minute, or was it against unauthorized use? Or it was something so stupid and obvious.
Hey, Chris, are they going to pay you for the
We're way over. Hold on. I'm sorry. We're way over. And then, and we have more coming up. Don't hang up. We'll be right back.
His question was not they're going to pay him for the 2 weeks that he worked.
Of course they will.
No, this just happened Friday.
What?
This just happened Friday.
Right, but he's concerned that he's not going to get paid for the 2 weeks.
He doesn't have
But that got lost. That was his question.
Yeah. No, his question was, can he collect his payment? Really,
his paycheck. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can he?
So here what it was, because I talked to him. He came in and he looked. He must be really short of cash.
He didn't
so
call
he
us about those 2 weeks, Ken. That's what I'm saying. That's not why he called us.
Okay.
He called us about the situation because he feels he was treated totally unfairly and that he had a good reason.
On Friday morning, he looked up and his check wasn't deposited. He went into work and said, "Hey, my check wasn't deposited," because he had direct payment. And he says, "Well, I don't know. Let me look into it." Well, I'm not going to clock in until I get paid for my there. Well,
but are they now that he's fired or quit, whatever? Are they going to pay him?
Yes.
Oh, they are going to pay
him. Yes, they must have had a stamp.
Okay.
Their little,
okay.
Thing.
I think he should get unemployment though. He will get unemployment.
Probably the way it sounds.
Unemployment is like if you've got a fucking heartbeat.
Mile High Estate Planning. That name says it all, and that's what Blake Harris does. He's an attorney at law, loaded for bear when it comes to your trusts, your probate, your wills, your assets. He can protect your assets through trusts, even if you think, well, I don't need to protect my assets. You do. If you have an estate $100,000 or more, you need to protect it. And that means he can come up with a solution, and all of your consultation, your initial consultations are free of charge. And then when you hire him, everything's flat rated. Mile High Estate Planning, Blake Harris. He is an expert at trusts, at forming, amending, dissolving. He can do health trusts, living trusts, any kind of trust you need. Do not have time. MileHighEstatePlanning.com is the name of his website. 720-924-6171.
But Al said he went to help do the HR manual. I think everybody should do something and get the correct HR manual so you get all your bases covered. Because he still only spent like under $1,000 for it.
Who's that?
Al from Oramus.
Oh, really?
So he's on Friday there.
Yeah, I know. I've heard him a million times.
Yeah. But I mean, you just like you said, if you don't have a policy in
right.
there, you think that's, So, Mark, what did you say about the Social Security there? Was I right?
I don't know. I don't think you're right.
I am right.
About what?
Well, then how come I'm getting max benefits?
You're not getting max benefits.
All right, I am.
No, you're not.
What are you talking
about?
Not
if you did. They take your 35 highest. If you only work 30 and didn't work that 5, they average in those 5 are 0.
They take your They take your 10, they take your 40 highest quarters.
Write down yourself.
Okay.
Because for some reason it's not coming up on my thing.
I'll do another bet on the Amazon on that.
Well, it did the other day. I called
So
you.
The reason being is you're maxed out. So even if you were making $1 million, you maxed out at, depending on a year, maybe 100,000 or 105,000 or whatever, what you paid in Social Security.
Right.
So why would you get max benefits when a guy did 35 years at max? Why would you get more than or the same as he would? Because you put in half what he did.
Because that's how it works.
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm going to bring in my Social Security statement. I'll show you.
Sure. Yeah. Now you went to 67. You could have went to 65.
No, I could have gone to 70.
You're right. 70 is total max.
Right.
But 65 is would have been your, what do they call it? Your normal age.
Okay, wait. There's a max. If I had been 35 years of making $1 million a year and I retired at 67, my benefits would be X, right?
Right.
Okay. And what I'm telling you is, with 20 years making the max, I'm getting the max I could get at 67.
And it'll be very close to that because you have 20 years, but it won't be that.
Okay, we'll see.
Send you a message.
In fact, you can go on Social Security. It's not a very good one, but you can do.
Remember, I don't have iTunes or whatever.
Put in your different things.
No, I know, but I should be able to
Okay,
even though you don't.
Jesus Christ.
Do that.
All right. Well,
okay,
I won't let me text you.
At today's rate, what is max at 60?
And see.
So yours was 67. You actually went 2 years over your max, so you would be getting 8%.
A year for those 2 years.
For those 2 years. Plus all core.
But what the point is, if I had been working for 35 years, I wouldn't be getting any more money than I'm getting now. Because there's a max you get at 67.
Right.
And regardless of whether you work 20 years or 35, that's the max you get.
They figured it out wrong.
Forward that tomorrow. Oh,
never mind. Yours out wrong.
I don't think so.
Okay. I just can't believe that it won't let me text Mark. I am so tired of it.
But it is. I know that use the highest 35. Okay. Use the highest 35 years of index earning.
No.
Index earning is
holy shit.
If someone doesn't have 35 years of earnings, a 0 will be used in the calculation, which will lower the average.
Okay.
Total the 35 highest years of index earnings and divide this total by 420, 420 quarters. The result is a person's AIME, which is AIME is adjusted earnings for inflation.
I need someone with a
average index monthly earnings.
Do you have a droid?
So I guess we can figure out.
Can you? Hi, Tom Martino, you're a troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on? And let's talk. Okay, we did have John Goodhue or Brian Gray. Can we get him back on? We have a question for an opportunity zone. And then Eric has a follow-up question. His car was flooded 9 months ago. Eric, go ahead. What is your question, sir?
In November a year ago, I got my car flooded. I had to file a claim through my insurance. Everybody's pointing at everybody else saying it's not our fault. It was in the condo where I live in the parking garage. I called you about it.
So your car was flooded, and by the way, did you have this car insured?
Yeah, through Geico, the worst insurance company in the world. Never get Geico.
Okay, what happened? Like who paid for your damage?
I had to get a lawyer and file a claim or a file with the state insurance commission, and they finally started doing what they were supposed to do to begin with.
So you ultimately got paid from Geico?
Well, they took care of 30 days of rent a car, and they worked me around for 6 months on my car sat for 6 months at the lot where I.
But you have comprehensive coverage, right?
Right, but they ended up, after dinking me around for 6 months, I had to pay for my own rent-a-car for 6 months while they were dicking around with the whole thing.
Why?
And finally, they finally paid the shop $5,000, $35 a day for
none of this means anything, Eric. What I need to know is a simple question: were you paid? Was the car totaled, by the way?
It was. And
were you paid?
6 months.
I'm not asking about time. I'm not asking about hassle. Were you ultimately paid for the vehicle?
Yes, but I'm owed $5,000 for rent-a-car while they were dinking around.
Eric, if you let me ask questions, you know what? I will be glad to find out. I need some answers first. Who paid for the car? Bye. Goodbye. He doesn't want to talk. I can't help him because I wanted to know who paid and if they were subrogating, because he could go against the condo complex, but he is not listening. Okay, Eric, if you want to call back and actually answer a few questions, and for God's sakes, if you think I'm asking questions just because I like to hear myself talk, you're wrong. There is an absolute reason for every single detail I ask for. Every single time. Now, there's another Eric who wants to talk about opportunity zones, I think. Eric, what's going on?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's happening?
I was just looking up opportunity zone funding, and I just looked it up on my phone, and I turn on the radio. I listen to you all the time.
Yeah.
And I hear you talking to a guy from the company I was looking up, which is the APO Financial. They seem to be involved in these opportunity zone funding things, and I was wondering, if
they're doing a really good job.
And what's kind of some of the basics on that? We just sold a car wash, and we've got some profits that we're trying to figure out what to do with, and I thought this might be a good thing to do with it. And then I heard you guys talking to them. So
yeah, and they also do some commercials on it. Let me just ask John Goodhue from APO Financial. John, my first basic question: what is an opportunity zone?
Okay, I'll try to keep this as short as possible. Opportunity zones were part of the 2017 Tax Act, and they allowed the governors of all the states and territories to designate zones based on census tracts. And so there are over 8,700 opportunity zones in the United States. Colorado, we have about 128 that Governor Hickenlooper designated. And basically the idea is if you make an investment the right way, and there's a way you have to do it the right way. If you make an investment of capital gains, that needs to be capital gains, into an opportunity zone investment that invests in those opportunity zones, either businesses or property, you get some major tax breaks. We think it's the biggest. All right,
I want you to explain those tax breaks to Eric and to me. So basically, there are designated zones called opportunity zones, and if you invest capital gains, there's some good tax treatment. A very basic question first, John. Very basic. If I have other money I want to invest, is it prohibited?
It's not prohibited, but you won't get the tax breaks.
Okay. But will you get better returns than a normal investment?
It depends on the investment. It's just an investment.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's mainly geared toward capital gains and tax treatment on opportunity zones, and we'll talk about what those tax treatments are right after this.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Improvements in the drive both in town and south of town. Good news in the Gap, southbound I-25.
Yeah, I want to see if I can text
I know it'll be close, Ken, but I don't think it'll be here. Here.
Looks like that road work is easing things up. Northbound I-25 approaching Hamden. They're still doing construction on Hamden, but speeds of proposed on that stretch of I-25.
Yes, I want John.
Caution. Also, watch out for slow speeds on the westbound side.
I'm going to take him right after this. Rain, snow mix my ass.
On 630 K-How.
Did I do real CBD this hour? Yes, I did. We talked a lot about it.
Monitoring from Credit Karma today. Download the Credit Karma app now. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal. You know, you might be thinking four-wheel drives, all-wheel drives, this time of year, front-wheel drives, SUVs, they have them all, a big selection, 63rd and Federal. Take a drive up there, look around, they have great parking. And they're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturdays, 9 to 6, family-friendly, kid-friendly, and even pet-friendly. Here's the serious note now. They have so many lenders to choose from that is a deal in and of itself. They have great financing available depending on your financial situation. So along with a great selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans, please guys, they have a good selection of financing. And they make sure each and every loan is approved before you walk or drive off that lot, and they never call you back saying, "Oh, we made a mistake." They don't play those car dealer games. 303-426-4646. Rocky, 63rd and Federal.
So Clint, it's very simple.
No, not Clint. I'm not Clint.
I mean, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. Dan, if you say,
what you look like? I mean,
what's the max benefit you can get at 867? And then I'll tell you what mine is.
No. One at 670. If you just take what the maximum this year is at your normal retirement date, they call that. So they call it your normal retirement. Okay.
I wonder what could be wrong with that heat cable.
In that one area, that seems unlikely.
And it's that one area's got its own plug-in. The light's on. I just looked up all the circuits.
Okay.
Well, no, but I'm saying there's power to it.
What is it?
So what could, because there's a light on the actual thing.
It's the cord or the plug.
It's got to be, see if it's a cord. Holy shit.
Oh, no, you're saying it's
2861, okay?
That section's,
take 2861 times 1.08 times 1.08.
It is over the door, but it zigzags and goes all the way down the downspouts and out into my backyard. It's 250 feet. It's 3 stories up. And it goes literally down through the gutters, underground, and then out to my backyard. The cable's smart too. So if it freezes at one point, only that one point becomes hot.
This is incredible.
I don't even know how it does that.
That's what it is. Cold causes more resistance, which causes more heat.
And then it kicks.
And where it's not cold.
But how does it know to only power that?
Because no, it's powering the whole thing. It's just that not creating heat.
Less resistance, it gets more heat.
No,
what's the maximum benefit somebody can get if
so it gets cold. Cold. Well, that's the light bulb. It's resistance. That's why it's glowing red.
But it's different this year than when you started getting.
Okay, right. Your cord is always having power in it, but it hardly uses any. But then, when it gets cold, that metal,
the way that works,
changes its molecular structure, so it becomes less of a conductor.
Right.
And as becoming less of a conductor, it gets
now it's not 67
until there's no conduction, which of course then you have plastic or something. But yeah, there are differential. It could be either differential metals causing the way it's wrapped, or it could be just a wire. That's interesting technology. Because you could literally have it cold here
65 and 4 months,
and not here. And where it's cold, just in that area, it causes a bunch of electrons.
And of course, and in my particular property, that makes sense all the time. Some places get sunlight, some get 0.
What? Okay, we'll talk during the break at the hour.
You mean?
Okay, I can, except not here.
But I think it's going to be very close to that. But that
on my computer,
I have it. There it is. I got it.
For me,
mine's
66 and 4 months. Okay, so in
so,
order to be the same as you,
I have
I would have to go
now I
to
want to see if I can do another.
and 4 months.
Okay.
And then
okay,
it
now
would be,
I'm texting.
because that'd be 8%
Every
year. It goes up. Rough.
I just
That's a
don't
rough.
even
Right.
There,
I know it goes
it.
up 8%.
No, I know from here.
Wait, did you send 2?
As, say
I sent
you
test,
did maximum
and then I sent
retired at,
yes.
Say at 65.
You got the yes or no?
I got a yes.
The same
Okay,
as
good.
if
now
let me
year,
reply.
I think it's 65
blah,
and 4
blah,
months.
blah.
That they retire at 65 and 4 months would be getting
Good.
the same thing. Anybody who waited each year you waited after that,
You got a
8%
reply?
on top of that.
Yeah.
Plus all colas.
What did you change?
Was it the 270?
No, I went. Oh, I sent it on the phone.
But here's
it showed
what
up
it
on the
says.
computer.
I'll
It gave me
print it
something
out.
to respond to.
As far as what it says about that, it says at 35 top years, anything less than that, they put zeros in that. If you did 30 years, you get 5 years of zero, and then they average it all together.
Right. Okay.
As long as you have the adjustment.
With all the talk about pension stuff, I just started thinking also. That's all.
We'll knock it out.
I just thought of it in my head. That's all. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. We left off with opportunity zones. I just want to continue that. Now, John, and then the guy who had his car flooded, I'm going to ask him a few questions. I think he's letting that condo place off too easy. But anyway, John, an opportunity zone has been designated by each state zones. We have 128 in Colorado. And the whole point is to give people a way to reduce taxes on capital gains, right?
Right.
Okay.
And also to bring investment dollars to areas that might need them.
Oh, of course. Now, by way of definition, a capital gain is what you make when you sell a property that you've owned, and it's the profit after expenses and everything, instead of calling it a salary or, they call it capital gains income. It's a form of income, right?
Right.
Okay, now, can you have capital gains on business equipment as well?
You can, yes, you can in certain circumstances. Most times, it's with business equipment, it turns into ordinary income.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to key your customers in. So people who would be looking for opportunity zones are people that sold businesses or people that sold their home and made a lot of money. Would that qualify?
Well, it can.
Okay.
The areas basically are stock holdings.
You're okay. In other words, when you make a lot of money in the stock market, those are capital gains.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's so stock market gains on sale of stock. If you have real estate, you can have capital gains on sale of real estate.
And as Eric brought up, Eric, you sold your business, right?
Right.
Okay, so what happens when you invest in an opportunity zone? And I want to know how APO Financial is handling it. Do you have commodities minimums?
Well, there's some minimums, but we're working right now. We're working with particular funds. There are some funds that have been developed right now, primarily in the real estate area. So those are the ones that's kind of like the low-hanging fruit in these opportunity zones are real estate development opportunities.
All right. Well, tell us about it. What would be a minimum amount?
Well, in ours, it's not much. It's about $10,000. Now, I wouldn't tell somebody maybe to put $10,000 in there, but with our funds, the minimums are very low, and you don't have to be an accredited investor either.
All right, Eric, you had a question?
Yeah, this is sort of like a REIT then, as you got a group of properties in a particular zone.
Well, like with those funds, it's kind of like a REIT, except it's not a REIT, because REITs don't have the advantages that opportunity zone investments these funds have.
Okay, and for those listening, a REIT is a real estate investment trust. Right now, I want to concentrate on what exactly does an investment in opportunity zone give you right now, John? What are the benefits?
So 3 big ones. Number one, if you sell like right now, you've sold your business, you have some capital gains, you would normally have to pay the taxes on that next year when you file your taxes. You don't have to do that. You actually don't pay the taxes until 2027. So you have 7 years of tax deferral, which is good. You have appreciation during that period of time on the money that you would have given the IRS. You make some money off of it. So tax deferral is the first one. If you hold the investment for 5 years, you get to reduce the taxes by 10% that you owed originally. If you hold it for 7 years, you get to reduce by another 5%. So it's 15% reduction when you do have to pay the tax in 2027. And the really big one is if you hold the investment for 10 years or longer, all of the appreciation is tax-free. So that's the big one.
Wow.
That's nice.
So all of the appreciation is tax-free for 10 years. Otherwise, the other taxes are also reduced, and they're deferred.
Right, and they're deferred.
Okay.
And there's some other tax advantages too, but those are the 3 big ones.
Now, hold on, Eric. I'll let you if you have other questions, we'll get to you, okay? And then we'll call back John if we need him to answer. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, referralist.com. We have another hour to go.
I am glad you guys decided that drifts count.
What's the max?
No! It's the accumulation that they say on Channel 9.
The accumulation in drift. So if Channel 9 says snow drifts as high as 3 feet, winter chicken dinner.
No.
I'm just saying.
This is why I didn't do
fine.
it. This
We'll
is why
clarify
I didn't
it.
do it.
Okay, well,
we thought was right.
That's like, you have 1 inch on your driveway.
That's right.
And you shovel it off to the side and it's 4 feet.
That's right.
That's an accumulation of 4 feet.
Yeah, it is. It's an accumulation on that side of 4 feet. What are you looking at now? You guys still arguing this one out, are you? You should ask John when he was on. He'd know the answer.
Somebody who retired.
Okay.
At age 67
you write like
in 2011.
You write like a doctor.
Of course.
Somebody who
retired.
Who was born in?
Who retired in 2011 at age 67.
You're not going to find an answer to that.
Well, let's see.
But see, Tom, are you collecting Social Security?
Yes, full.
Okay, what is your... So, let me tell you, so your maximum 2008...
Do you have 35 years of paying in full?
Of course I do.
35 years of full.
Paying in full.
Of course, yes.
Okay, it's all right.
What does that mean, paying in
full? You made always more than your...
You didn't have one single quarter where you made less.
My main quarters, the ones they count, were all over minimum.
No.
He's
You're
going to tell you
about 10
you're
quarters,
wrong.
right?
Huh?
You're talking about 10
40
quarters. 40 quarters.
10 years.
10 years.
420 quarters.
No.
Well, obviously, when I worked at the fucking newspaper, I didn't make.
Exactly.
I didn't make.
So he's saying you don't get maximum benefits.
Right.
Okay. So what is a maximum benefit?
Okay, let me.
What is a maximum benefit?
Yeah, just click on that.
I just right here.
Dan's marrying himself.
No, I'm not.
No, just go ahead. What's maximum benefit?
For next year. Next year is 2011.
Okay. Well, turn it off. I'll tell you what I'm getting.
Not including your kids.
Not including
museums making off with billions in jewels. This is ABC News. Over 150 pounds of bologna seized at the U.S.-Mexico border. Mexican bologna is considered contraband because it's made of pork, which could introduce diseases into the U.S. pork industry. The driver facing big fines. Some wayward cows are back home in North Carolina after a very long journey.
This is not the story of the 3 little pigs. It's the story of the 3 not-so-little cows.
You don't get kids benefits at 62.
No, but you could have waited longer and got
70.
More.
At
he
70.
could have waited longer.
Right, 70. No. I'm talking.
He's talking about maximum normal.
Your normal maximum, which would be Canada 65.
Would you just ask John if he's still on?
Here's the deal. How much are you getting?
About 26.
Yeah, I get way more. I know I get more than that. Way more.
Because I did in 2011. You guys, so of course you're going to get more because you were later
engineer. Let's put it this way.
That's just inflation.
Right. Other than my first 4 years of income, I made $1 million or more.
No.
Okay.
We're on. Right now.
Jesus Christ.
We're on right now.
That was fucking stupid.
I know. I thought I said that. I thought I said that. No. What I'm saying, Tom, is you have to do the 35 years
but
of
the
maximum
more you make,
to get.
The more you get.
No. Remember, you only get say
you're older than me. How old were you when you took it?
In 2011, I was 67.
Okay, so I was 66 and a half, which is full retirement.
Right. And you did in what year?
I think you went past.
I did it this year.
Right. So
Tom,
that's 8 years difference.
Ken, what I'm saying is, I think I paid in. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I think I paid in substantially more than you did. I think I did.
You did. I'm sure you did.
But that's all I'm saying.
You retired at more than your regular full retirement. Say 62 is your first, right?
Right.
Yes.
And like for Cam, 65 was his full retirement.
My second was 66.
Yours was 66, because mine is going to be 66 in 4 months.
Whatever full retirement was, I was there. I did not take it a day earlier than full
I think
retirement.
you took it later.
No, I don't think I did.
My question, did you max out for 35 years? No.
Not 35 fucking years,
that's what he's saying.
I am saying that.
All I'm saying.
He's saying if you don't get...
I didn't max out.
You did not.
But I'm still getting fucking $2,900.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand what the fucking difference it makes. I never said I was getting full.
I know, that's what we're just saying. Because he's saying he had 20 years of maximum, whatever. but he doesn't have 35 years. So he said he's getting maximum.
Yeah. So how many years did I have? I've been in the business 40 years. For the first 4 years, I know exactly what I was making. And so for 36 years, okay.
But if you 35, they only count your 35 greatest years.
Right.
Okay. There hasn't been one under 2.
Okay.
You want to know the truth?
Okay, then
No, 35. I didn't. Okay. I started working and I started making max at about 4 years into my. As soon as I started getting recruited, it was like 4 or 5 years. So I don't know what fucking age was I.
Currently, it's 66 years and 2 months. Is what it is.
I'm not counting 18 years old. Let's say when I was 26. From 26, so that's 36, 46, 56, 60. For 40 years, 1 or more.
Right. But they only take your top 35. Top 35.
Then I did.
Okay, then you.
Why did you say? Why did I?
No.
I mean, I'm 66. I worked 35 years for sure.
Right. 35 years of maximum.
For sure I did.
Okay. But you're one of the few people that get maximum. And like I say, you got to work 35.
That's because I started making when I was younger.
Right. No, I totally agree. I totally understand. What I'm saying, so right at 66 years and 2 months, where did you start taking Social Security at? 66 years and 4 months?
Whenever they said I was full.
Okay, so right now it's 66 and 2 months.
Okay, then it must have been. Because I started getting paid as soon as I was 60, as soon as I was full, they called it full retirement.
Right, yes, that's what they call it. Even though maximum is 70. And that's the flat thing.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to wait.
So
and that's another reason.
Right, I agree.
You know why, right?
So, right. No. But and 70, you don't get anything. If you don't start taking it at 70, you don't get a dime more.
Absolutely, I agree.
Some of those, but I never paid more, no matter what it was, whether it was 1, 4, 6.
No, there's a max you pay in.
Right. So no, I paid the max.
So next year the maximum is $3,011 with the COLA.
I'll never get the money I paid. Neither will you. Neither will anybody.
Oh no. A lot of people do.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. This is the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we're helping you. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Panacea Life Sciences. RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, anxiety, for sleep. Dan, I'm totally transparent, and I asked you, how does it work for sleep? And I have no idea what he's going to say. Before he said, hey, I think I'm falling asleep easier, and it was good, but there was something. You were still getting up to once in a while. What about it?
It's much better. I did try. You had told me if I wake up to take a second one.
Yeah.
It didn't. That part didn't. This last time is the only time I did it. It didn't seem to help me to take.
Okay, so the first time you took it, how long did you sleep?
5 hours, but I was able to get back to sleep after I woke up.
But was it a good sleep?
It was a much better sleep.
Okay.
I actually dreamed.
That's all I wanted to know.
Right.
And again, as I said, we are fully transparent here. If you use it, I want to hear your results. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Let's talk about your problems, questions, and complaints. Okay. Now, Eric, did you have a specific question on opportunity zones? Because we had our experts from APOFinancial.com, and they explained how you can invest your capital gains and get very, very good tax treatment. Great. He said one of the best tax benefit laws ever and of all time when it comes to capital gains. And did you have any specific questions?
Yeah. Just one other question, and it kind of spurred from the conversation, is could I go to an opportunity zone and buy like a rental property? I could go buy a house in a opportunity.
That's an interesting question.
Benefits?
That's an interesting question. Can you just go directly to an opportunity zone? And that's a really good question. Like, do you have to go to a fund or to an expert? You know what? We need to call him back. We need to call him back. That's a great question. Hold on. All right. We will get to you. That's a good one. And who's been paying a while? Okay, Lisa. What's happening, Lisa?
Yes. I'm calling because my husband has elected to get surgery done. Mm-hmm. And so he is filling out his FMLA for his company where he works at. And his company is telling him that not only can he do the FMLA, but he also has to use his vacation.
Right.
Is that true?
Yeah, they require you to use all of your normal leave of any kind. That means sick days and vacation. Then after that, you take the family leave. I mean, they're feeling like, why should the employer be paying for you? Not paying for you, but keeping your job open and all that. Since you're not paid for those leaves, I think that's a little unfair too. I mean, why? I don't understand it, but I guess they're saying, they want to encourage people not to take needless time off. That's why they make you, put up your own time first.
Okay.
So what kind of surgery does he need?
He's going to have shoulder surgery on it because he's got some buildup of calcium in there. And so they're just going to go in there and clean up the joint.
Lisa, I happen to go. I know someone going through some shoulder stuff. That's why I asked. It's amazing you said that. But is it called a frozen shoulder?
Yes.
Lisa, I want to really tell you that, doctor, you knew a lot of orthopedic people, and shoulder surgery for frozen shoulder is only indicated about 2% of the time. They say that physical therapy and other therapies you should do first. And I'm only assuming you have great orthopedic doctors you trust, right?
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of doctors suggest that you had a lot of orthopedic friends, right?
A lot of them.
What about frozen shoulders? Isn't that true that, I don't know how it used to be, isn't it true that they're not recommending surgery except in rare occasions?
I don't know, but I'll find out and let you know tomorrow.
Good, yeah. Well, we're going to find out. He's going to talk to his buddies and talk to us tomorrow. But Lisa, I'm not saying your doctors are trying to cheat you or anything, but things have changed a lot. Like, for example, they don't even do torn meniscus anymore. I mean, surgeries, they're saying physical therapy and just, I don't know, live with it or something. But it gets better, apparently. So, yeah. Lisa, you had a second opinion, right?
Well, he has been going to physical therapy, and it's just not getting better.
How long has he had it?
Probably about a little over a year. And he said it's just getting worse.
That's terrible. Listen, if they think they can fix it, who am I to say, right? I mean, he doesn't want to live another day with it probably. And it does take time with proper physical therapy. But did he get a second opinion on the surgery, though?
Yeah, he just got a second opinion. And so that's why he wants to get the surgery. He's going to have surgery in December.
Did he get a second opinion from an independent group of doctors?
Yes, a different one. He went through his insurance.
Okay. All right. Listen, Lisa, the best to him. I hope that he gets pain relief and all of that. But, wow, have people had a lot of luck with the proper physical therapy. However, it's not overnight for sure. You know something I forgot to ask and I'd like to ask? I'd like to know if stem cells, if they've had any success with frozen shoulders in general. I'd like to know that. Because a frozen shoulder is not necessarily a deteriorated joint or a lack of tendons. It's more or less a gunking up of the tendons. Daphne, perhaps you can get someone from Centeno Schultz just to ask in general. I'd like to know that. Now, Eric, thank you. I appreciate you calling back. I really do. You had your car flooded at a condo project. This car was not insured by Comprehensive, or was it? Your car was paid for?
Full coverage. I had full coverage. I had a loan on it.
Okay.
I had gap insurance.
Okay.
Geico paid for it finally after 6 months of getting an attorney and everything.
I wonder why you had to fight them. That's a side note. You had a difficult time with Geico. Okay. You ultimately got paid for the car, but you have many other losses. What were you paid for? You were paid for the car, but what losses did you incur in addition to that? Well, Geico paid that. Did the condo offer you anything?
The condo says it wasn't their fault.
Why?
Well, the whole thing started, they were going to get a pipe fix at the condo. Everybody says it's not their fault. They've had the people come out and mark where the shutoff was and everything else. Well, they mismarked it, and the excavator came out, and he said he didn't even touch the pipe, and it had already broken by the time he got there. So
yeah, but somebody's responsible. The condo people may not be. I thought it was their pipe that was a defect. But I understand, but I thought it was a defect or some kind of catastrophic thing. It sounds like an excavator did it. Is that is that right?
Well, I talked to the insurance people, the excavator. They investigated, says that the fault of the pipe was put in wrong, and it was the Johnson Control Tyco people, and they said it's not their fault. The city mismarked where the shutoff was. It was actually took them 3 hours to shut it off because they mismarked the shutoff. So they said it's not their fault because it's on private property, even though they mismarked it. So everybody's pointing everybody else, and I'm still out $5,000 in stuff because everybody says.
What are your additional losses, Eric?
Well, I had 6 months worth of rent-a-car while Geico dinked around with me, and I finally had to get an attorney and file with the state insurance commission saying that they weren't doing their job.
Well, that's Geico's problem. I mean, they could argue. If you go after someone else, they could argue the attorney's fees absolutely is not anyone else's fault. That was your fight with Geico. I mean, that's between you and Geico. If you had a great insurance company, you wouldn't have to fight them like that. So even if let's put it this way, even if the excavation company was responsible, I just want to say for argument's sake, let's say we find a responsible party. Okay, that responsible party is never going to pay your attorney's fees for Geico, but that they should be somewhat responsible for your rental car, at least part of it. You didn't have rental car coverage.
30 days.
Okay. Now,
I it out 6 months, and so I had to pay for my own car for forever.
What about parking? Was parking available right away after the incident?
I mean, the water drained out. Later that day, I was driving it.
Okay.
And
all right.
It blew up. And my roommate was in the same condo garage.
I was just asking if you could park there during the 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you had no additional parking damages. If I were you, what I would do personally, I don't care what they say, I would go to small claims court against the excavation company. I don't care what they say. And, these jerks might say, oh, you can't sue us, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? You can sue them, and you can do it in small claims court. I would go after the excavation company because they broke it. They're going to say they never touched it. Well, come on. They just happened to be excavating, and it just happened to break in the same spot.
I mean,
really, that's what they're expecting you to believe? I would not say that. No. Now, coming back, I want to talk to Brian Gray, APO Financial, more about the opportunity zone, because we were presented with a very unique question regarding opportunity zones. And APOFinancial.com, they're really there's emphasizing and specializing in these opportunity zones. They're doing a great job. So I'm going to ask him this very unique question about independent, individual investing.
Weekdays 2 to 4.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
You sort of skip the middleman. You just do it yourself.
For what, the flood?
No. If you buy a house in an opportunity zone, fix it up and rent it. Why?
I bet
You think it's
a good question.
Yeah,
good question.
it's only REITs that can do it. You think?
Johnson Construction, roofs by Johnson, same company, same guy. I am so impressed with his hail-proof roofing, EuroShield. Maximum insurance discounts available. Now, I think they should give you even more of a discount because this thing has a lifetime warranty. Imagine a roof with a lifetime warranty and a hail-proof warranty with stunning designs, even environmentally friendly. Why? Because you know what it does? It recycles tires. A typical roof can recycle up to 1,000 rubber tires. Wow.
and extreme durability in all weather. It doesn't look like old tires. Stunning designs installed by the experts at Johnson Construction. Here's where you call to find out more. 303-719-ROOF. But I want you to look at this amazing video that shows these giant ice pellets hitting EuroShield. Roofsbyjohnson.com. Roofsbyjohnson.com. And speaking of impressive videos, there's one more video I want you to look at, and that video is foamyourwalls.com. Now, foamyourwalls.com is a video of Rocky Mountain Retro Foam, also owned by Johnson, Chase Johnson. He owns the Hailproof Roofing Company, Roofs by Johnson. He also owns Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Now, this stuff fills every nook and cranny of the wall, as you'll see in the video. It remains pliable. It's not a spray. It's a state-of-the-art injection foam with a great R value, and it maintains that R value forever. Here's the other thing, okay? It can be done in a day from outside the house. It is extremely energy efficient and environmentally friendly with no off-gassing. Wow, I just love this stuff. Plus, it adds fire safety to your home. Yeah. 720-676-6333. 720-676-6333. Foamyourwalls.com. Now listen, it should be, do you start retiming at the start of the next spot? Is that how you did it? Good, okay. Yeah, because I like to work back and forth, and I was... Do you know what? I'll tell you why it's a nerve with me. Because I'll tell you, do you know what hit a nerve with me with Social Security?
What's that?
It hit a nerve with me, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was turning 66, every fucking person I talked to had a different information. Everybody.
About Social Security.
Yes, that's why I say no. I was at full fucking retirement, and then this is what I'm getting, and because people kept saying, oh, this and this and this. Remember, you even said one time, I can't get as much money, I can't get my full amount because of how much I make, right? Because I'm collecting full. Remember?
No, I don't.
I thought you said it counts against you. You were saying that I couldn't remain working. I said it was
no, that's why I waited till 67.
Yes.
That's right.
You just got to full retirement age.
Once you hit 67,
right? They don't.
Then your income doesn't count.
No. Full retirement age, you would have been 66.
No, if I retired at 65, my income would have deducted my Social Security
His full
payments.
retirement age was different than mine.
But it was less. His was less because you're 70.
75.
75. So when he hit 65, it should have been back then. Should have been 65.
No, but I'm telling you, when I hit for those 2 years, my income would have I would have had to take a deduction.
Maybe they changed it. Maybe
because they just changed the law.
If at 67, your income is not your Social Security payments are not affected by your income. You could make $10 million a year.
By 66, it isn't.
Yeah, your full retirement age. By your full retirement age, it's not affected.
The law says full retirement age. And
this is
what I mean.
Yeah.
I know this for sure because I was so fucking adamant.
Right.
I waited to full retirement age. Right. Full retirement age is different for every group of citizens, senior citizens. Mine was 66. Okay, mine was 66.
And you waited 66 in 2 months?
No, it was whatever it was. I'm just saying it could have been a month or two. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so Eric, I think I left off saying I want him to file. I'm done with him. He can file small claims court. That's what I would do. Now, I just saw him there. Now, back to Opportunity Zones and Brian Gray from APO Financial, and it's apofinancial.com. Does APO stand for anything?
Yeah, it's actually short for Asset Protect One.
Oh, good. Asset Protect One. So it's apofinancial.com. Now, Brian, this guy had a great question. Opportunity zones were set up by the states in order to entice investment because under this new opportunity zone law, people can invest capital gains and get incredible tax benefits like tax deferral, tax discounts, and some tax-free appreciation under certain circumstances. So my question is, So my question from this guy, can I, as an individual, go into an opportunity zone and simply buy a rental or buy something with my capital gains and get the same treatment?
You know, yeah, there's actually a two-step process to be able to do so. The individual that has a capital gains would actually have to establish an opportunity zone fund themselves.
Oh, really?
And actually, yeah, so they have to file what's called a Form 8996 from the IRS.
Is it hard to do?
You know, it's actually not hard to do. Where we see is most people are going to make mistakes because they don't follow the rules. But they have to set up a limited liability company, a C corporation, or a partnership to be able to be the owner of the fund itself. And then they can put in the capital gains from the prior investment into the fund. And then the fund can invest in a current property within an opportunity zone.
Will they make more money than doing it through a group like you?
Yeah, you know, it's for us, it's a matter of keeping people out of trouble, you know, because people are trying to do it on their own, you know, because they have to do a recertification with the IRS twice a year. And eventually what's going to happen is people aren't going to certify, and then everything's going to wind up being taxable. But there is one more component when you buy an existing property within an opportunity zone, is that you have to make what's called substantial improvements, which is basically taking the acquisition cost less the land value. At least 50% of that has to be in an improvement.
So, Brian, it's not as easy as simply going out and buying something and calling it good. I mean, there are a lot of hoops to jump through. So that recertification, you're telling me that your LLC or your fund will have to be recertified twice a year?
Twice a year, and they have to file a Form 8996 twice a year.
It seems to me like it's pretty complicated to do it on your own, and I don't know what the savings is overall. I mean, really, what would it be? I mean, you guys would charge a percentage over of assets managed in general, right?
Correct. That's correct. And generally for us, when we search out all the different funds that are available, it's looking for the right opportunities that, you know, have very lower risk of loss. So, you know, being diversified in different real estate portfolios, so that way you're not specifying yourself to one project or one geographic location. So it doesn't sound wise to me to do it yourself, really. I mean, it's kind of like not having, you know, when you have your 401k, when you have your pension, when you have all of your investments, it's kind of like trying to manage all of that too. I mean, I guess theoretically we could all do everything for ourselves, but it would be very difficult. I want to talk to Renee. Renee is our deputy, our Spanish deputy. He's a Spanish-speaking deputy for people who speak only Spanish and they have a tough time relating their problem to us. We sent him on this one. This woman invested in Bitcoin through a company called ICOM Tech, I believe it was. Renee, what did you find out about that? First of all, how much did our victim invest?
Hi, Tom. Good afternoon. Between herself, 30 grand herself alone, and all put together with friends and family, she claims there's 299,850. So just a little short of 300 grand.
Oh man, this is terrible. And this was done through what? Was it an investment house or directly to this place?
Based on seminars, she got a referral. Dinah is her name. She got a referral from a friend, a doctor friend of hers. Of course, she trusted that and invested. Everything.
A doctor friend?
A doctor friend of hers referred this company.
Not all of us.
Was it a friend or was she a patient?
No, this is a friend. I believe she's in the healthcare business. So,
because, man, if you ever did that with a patient, you'd be in very big trouble.
Oh, no. You're right. So 300 grand later, everything, as Ponzi schemes go, everything went fine. They started in April of this year, started seeing returns, started seeing profits, and then slowly but surely started fizzling away. And by August of this year, it totally shut down. No website, no dashboard, nowhere they can access their account or their money.
Did they target, you think, minorities?
Well, why we think that and why I agree with her is there's a lot of YouTube announcements, commercials, a lot of advertisement for these seminars and conferences that they're holding in the Denver area, and they are heavily targeting the Hispanic community as part of that advertisement to try to get them in, speaking Spanish, letting them know that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, blah blah blah. And it's good enough where they're getting these people to come into these seminars. Okay, so everything's shut down. I mean, this is terrible. Does she feel responsible because she got a lot of people involved? Well, first of all, in my opinion, and with as much as I talked with her, she's a very nice lady. Seems to want to do the right thing. I truly believe that she did lose out on this money. She's not looking for any payment back. Although she wished of course she had. Oh my gosh! But she just wants to initially called your show to make sure that we got the word out and put this name out, this company's name out. And of course, I believe you have my notes, Tom, and all the numbers and all the people involved are there, including the CEO of this company. Now, to make sure that they don't fall. What were they promising to do? All sorts of Bitcoin claims that they'll get. I don't know how much percentage back. Again, they started seeing money come in after their investments, which led them to believe that this is legit and maybe it's not a fraud. But again, they have a frac. I think Dinah mentioned she got maybe $5,000 total dollars back from their $300,000 investment. Oh gosh. Okay, so
they were guaranteeing a graduated result depending upon how much money you invested.
Yeah. Correct. And see, because it was truly a Ponzi scam, it started paying out to get more people lured in. Exactly, and as you know, that's how they keep you. Where were they headquartered, or where were they headquartered? I researched the website. It is in Spanish, with the option to go to English as opposed to here in the U.S. Yeah, see. Versa. But it is in Spanish. It's India Charlie Oscar Mike Tech.com, and I went on there, and they do have a listed office in Guadalajara, Mexico. Yeah, see, this was a target to Mexican Americans. This was terrible. And I'm sorry, it's icomtech.org, not net or com. It's .org, O-R-G. I wonder if our SEC is looking into this. I wonder this. If you had, that's what I told Dinah. I listen to your show quite often, Tom, and I know you have lawyers all over the place, friends and people that call in, but an internet lawyer would be a great person to talk to if you did have somebody like that. I think we need a securities attorney, an investment attorney. I have just the ticket. I know who I'm going to call. So, Renee, have you talked enough to these victims that you would be able to answer as if you're them? I would. I'm just talking about no, Renee. I'm talking about for general information right now. I want to get my attorney on this one that I think would be good for this. I think I could answer. Most, if not all of his questions. All right. Yet. I want you to hold on. Let's get this attorney on, who's a security attorney. I want to know if he's going to be able to go outside of the country.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino.
Somebody you know. This Bitcoin Ponzi scheme that we were talking about was only $2 billion. Bernie Madoff was $65
Well, here's the deal. They were promising them a graduated return, and they would get money for bringing other people in.
Yes.
But the whole idea was, if you give me money to invest in Bitcoin, and I'm promising you 5%, I can make 1,000% on Bitcoin.
If you had put more money in.
No, and I'm only guaranteed. So if you invest in Bitcoin, so I say, okay, Dan, give me money. I'm going to guarantee you 5% return on Bitcoin. I invest in Bitcoin. I can make 1,000% on your money and only have to give you 5%. So if you believe that Bitcoin is going to be going up, you're using other people's money to make a huge bet on Bitcoin.
Yeah, if you want to be honest, but if you don't want to be honest, fuck them, right?
No, you wasn't be honest. You're just hoping it goes up, and if it doesn't go up, you just got their money.
Right, but if it goes up, you make a huge profit, and you're only giving them 5%. Right. If you look at Bitcoin
and if it goes down, you still got their money.
Exactly.
But Bernie Madoff by far.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
He was 65 billion. The next biggest was 7.
Mile High Estate Planning is the place to go for your wills, trusts, and any probate issue, especially when it comes to planning. But he's on the ready if you need someone immediately to help with a sudden death and you want to start a probate or avoid a probate, or somebody's contesting the will, or maybe you're contesting a will. Whatever the issue when it comes to estates, estate law, and probate, Blake Harris, milehighestate.planning.com. Always free consultations. And he does probate and trust administration, including litigation, trust matters in general, forming, amending, dissolving. He can do revocable, irrevocable, living trusts as well, and asset protection, which is his number one goal for you, is to protect your assets. His number, 720-924-6171. You can even text it. It's his cell number, 720-924-6171.
I wonder if he's...
Okay, so as we were saying before, even full retirement age gets confused. I just looked it up. Retirement age, if you're older than me, would have been before me, not after. 67 did not have a bearing on it. So I don't know where you got that number.
54?
No, 67 only had a bearing on my income.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying at 67, my income was irrelevant.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Both you guys' full retirement age was the same.
Right.
66.
But at 67, income is irrelevant. That's all.
Your retirement, yeah, right. But his was 66. When did you start collecting? When you were how?
Well, 67.
So you got 1 year greater than 8%.
Right.
But they wouldn't have taken any money from you.
No. But they would have if I retired at 66.
See, they might have
that
changed
year,
the law.
that year between 66 and 67.
I thought they must have done something different with the law.
They might have changed it. Right. They might have changed the law there. Because I thought the way, just like you had said, if you hit full retirement age, you could make $10 million and it wouldn't affect your Social Security.
It doesn't affect.
That's not what we did with my account and checking with Social Security. That year between 66.
There must have been a different law when he retired.
Very well could have been.
But between 66.
His account would have known.
But even waiting, you made 8% more.
Yeah.
That's true. And why didn't you particularly wait till 70? You probably didn't need the money. There's a particular reason I didn't.
Because it would have taken me 12 years to break even.
Yes.
And my accountant said,
okay.
Are you going to have a better life between 67 and 80 or between 70 and 82?
Yes.
And he said, use it when you're young.
Yeah. Right.
So I have a question. This Renee, has he ever? I wonder if they contacted IC3.gov, which is the FBI's website for internet crimes. Did you know that?
Well, Renee is our helper.
Right. Am I going to get the lawyer?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to get it to you. This is important.
Yeah. He's good, Renee.
He is good.
Yeah.
No, but
does he know about IC3.gov?
I'm
not
but
sure. All he's doing for us is gathering information.
Because the company only speaks in Spanish.
No, he's just literally our interpreter, but he's turned into more of a problem solver as well, so we can tell him about that. But the main thing right now is if we could file a lawsuit, and those assholes have a real corporation. I'm just wondering if
in another country.
But that's why if you go to that website, that's the FBI's website for internet crime.
I'll bet you they're looking into that. Is Bitcoin?
They must be. We hope. We just skip this to death.
Yeah, actually, I'll bet you they changed the law. That's why.
I'm not. They change laws all the time.
Yes. Yes.
And tomorrow we're only until 1:30.
And I'll bet you they did it to push people past.
Because
maybe
the basketball game starts at 1:30. So.
Oh.
Hell, they might. So the maximum of 67, what it is right now for your full retirement age, not right now. But they could change that. As young
right
people.
now?
Right now at 67. No. Is if you're born in 61, I think it's going to be 67. But they could change that to not. They can't go lower.
No.
Aaron is real.
But what they need to do, Social Security, if you're between 20 and 30, You can't get Social Security till you're 71. Between 30 and 40, 70, 40 to 50.
You think they should do that? Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
Why?
You think
Yeah,
because
that
that will solve this. That'll keep it solvent.
Yeah.
And do you think your kids or my kid who's 35 is worrying about? They're not going to retire at 70. They're going to be like we were when we were 40 when they're 70.
Man,
We hope.
well, I'm like I'm 40.
I know. So that's it. Do you think 40 years ago somebody who was 75 was going to be as healthy and young as I am?
Not
of course
that.
not.
Labor is so much easier now,
You know what?
whereas people work harder.
I hate having all that shit on the internet. I'm wondering if we let it run for a few days and take it down as an archive.
Oh, he's talking to
Our
somebody else.
stream.
Oh, I can take it down.
I don't want to take it right down. People get pissed. We're just that hour maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. We got an attorney we're going to try to get on just to talk about this. Meanwhile, Cheryl, I'm so sorry it took so long, but we have so many things that came up. What's going on, Cheryl?
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you holding. What's happening?
Well, back on October 9th, I had Action Appliance come to repair a freezer for me. I wasn't here. I had surgery on September 30th, so my sister was here. They called me, and he said that it needed a new compressor. We've had the freezer.
Why did you call Action Appliance?
Because we've used them before.
Okay.
And they had done some work for us before. So that's why I called Action Appliance. But,
okay, they have pretty bad reviews, but in any case.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that now.
Yeah. So what's the issue right now? What did they do wrong?
Well, the compressor, he did replace a compressor, which, of course, cost $750-some, and we could have gotten a new freezer, of course, for less than that.
But why did you do? You didn't have to do it.
They did not. The reason I did that was he said I could save the food out of the freezer because there was a lot of food in there that I was afraid I was going to lose, you know, when shopping.
In other words, he said I could do an immediate repair and save your food.
Exactly.
Okay, so what did they do wrong?
Well, I had no real reason to get in there for like 3 days, and when I did, the food was all thawed out.
Wait a minute. So that compressor never fixed it?
It did not.
Why?
I do not know.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
I thought there was a leak in the line.
There was a leak in the line, yes. That's
wait,
I don't know.
Wait. Did he misdiagnose?
The compressor was necessary.
That's what I'm getting at. Did he misdiagnose the compressor to begin with?
Yes, I think he probably did.
I'm not asking. No, excuse me.
Okay.
I did ask what you thought, but do you have proof? In other words, did you keep the old one?
Did I keep the old compressor? No, I did not.
I don't even know if that would help. I mean, I don't know how people test those things, but here's the problem we're going to have, Cheryl. They're going to claim that there were two problems, and they're going to say that the leak caused the compressor to fail, and that could very likely be. But this is terrible. You could do what Mark does a lot, and I'm serious when I say this. He does a small claims thing and says, look, he just contends, or he would, not in this case, but he just contends what he contends and let them defend it. If you said that your freezer failed immediately after the repair and it cost you this much money, and they claim, listen to this, she had two problems. Okay, guess what? You hired a professional, and they were negligent by not finding it, because even if you did have a leak, once you install a new compressor, there is one thing I know you do for sure, and that's check your pressures. So how could it have held pressure? You check to see if the new compressor is holding.
That's what they should have done. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So I think you would have a slam dunk in small claims court. I really do. But, you know, here's the thing. Action Appliance, as much as I don't like them, they're a real company, and I don't think they're going to go out of business for you suing them for some food. So if you sue them saying that you had a leak in your line and it failed the day after the repair, or 2 days, or how long was it? You said you didn't.
It was 3 days.
Okay, that's not bad. Thank goodness you didn't say 3 weeks. So if you said 3 days, listen, Cheryl. Now you got it. You're putting them on the spot, because what will they say? They can say this: no, she really did need a compressor. Okay.
Right.
And why didn't you find the leak? You know, what are they going to say? It just popped a leak? What kind of leak was it? Is there a hole? What's wrong with it?
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, I'm asking, Cheryl. I'm actually asking, what is the leak?
All they said on the receipt was that it was a leak in the high side tubing. That was very small.
Who's they? You had them come back and fix it?
He did come back, and it is fixed.
How much did that cost you?
That did not cost anything additional.
Well, you see, now we got, okay.
Yeah,
you see, now you got them who can say, look, that happened after the repair or something crazy. What I'm getting at is this. They're going to try to weasel out of it. I think you should sue them in small claims court, and I would simply sue them for negligence. That's what I would do for the price of the food.
How much food was it?
I did add that up, and it was right around $900. And I know that sounds like a lot, but we had
No, not if you have a freezer full of meat.
Yeah, we'd had meat in there from Katz's Deli in New York that I ordered for my husband's birthday.
Hey, can I come over and get a sandwich? I love Katz's.
We could have had to throw it all out.
Okay, listen. That's the way I would pursue. Now, you know, I could tell you we'll call them for you, and we'll put in the obligatory call.
Okay.
But here's what they'll usually either hang up on us or not answer. They're not a good company. So, Ladav, let's do the obligatory call and say, would they like to address this issue? And I think that's fair, right? RenewHomeInnovations.com, RenewHomeInnovations.com, because you want the best bathroom, and I love the bathroom. Oh, they specialize in the bathroom, and especially the shower. If you had them come in and just do the shower, you would be blown away. They have a pure porcelain product, and then they have, of course, you know, all Kohler products. Beside that, they have the Serica and all of that. That's a wall system. It's beautiful. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. Now, 1 second. Eric, you want to know if arbitration is possible on what?
I want to go after, I mean, my lawyer's already sent stuff to all the parties, like the excavating company.
You want arbitration. You want arbitration.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting nowhere with anything. No, everything's not my fault. It's not my fault. I want to go to arbitration.
Okay, rather than sue, obviously, because it's cheaper. What is the issue?
It's the flooded car issue. I've been on hold this whole time.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. You want? I'm sorry.
Geico.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It's the same one. So listen, I didn't keep you on hold by I did it by mistake. I meant to get right back to you on this situation. Arbitration is possible, but that's not what you want, because they can simply refuse it. But even if they go, that's not what you want. I think you go after the excavation company directly in small claims court. Why wouldn't you?
All right.
I mean, really, why wouldn't you, Eric? It's cheaper than arbitration. Arbitration is way more expensive.
I'm going to go after the condo in small claims. I'm going to go after the city in small claims. I'm going to go after...
No, the city, you're not going to be able to sue the city anyway, because you just can't. You're not going to sue them, okay? They are not going to be liable, and even if they were, to jump through the hoops, and you have to give them notice, and you're just not going to win there. I would go after the condo, and I would go after the excavator. And I think you can do... Well, go ahead. What?
The pipe company, too. The pipe company that supposedly they said that the pipe was installed improperly.
How long ago was that installation, though? That's the problem. How long ago was that, Eric?
1975.
I don't think you would have a prayer on that after all this time. More coming right up.
Now, Impact
Traffic. This report is paid for by Dr. Peyton.
So, Tom, would you have to prove...
Yeah, you have to for him.
Does she have to prove she had $900 worth of food?
Of course.
Well, that's how do you prove you had $900 worth of food?
That's a whole issue unto itself.
Right.
Well, if they dispute it, like say, oh, Your Honor, there's no way there was 900. I mean, yeah, I guess they would have to have some kind of proof. I think a good faith estimate, if you wrote down, you know, I think so. If they had a good faith estimate that they put down,
that would be up to them to dispute. And the issue is not going to be the amount as much as it is the liability.
Right.
Doctors support removing patients from supply disputes.
Ask your guy though about it.
About the frozen shoulder?
Ask him when surgery is really in.
Yeah, I will.
Like, is it true that nowadays, more than not,
I'll see if he wants to come on the show. If we can call him up tomorrow.
Who would you talk to?
Stewie.
Yeah.
Stewie does a lot of shoulder stuff.
I love Stewie. You know,
I'll ask him if he wants to.
Years ago, I was working on a bad shoulder. I could tell. And I went to him. He said that it's possible that if I could just go over the hump of pain and start working it, that I can avoid everything. Even though I had a hook chromium on my shoulder and they could fix that, he said if it went all these years without ever bothering you, it's unlikely that it's bothering you now, but it could. But he says, I'm just going to get you over the hump. You put this long fucking needle in my back into the shoulder.
Right.
He says, now it'll give you a few days relief, and maybe it'll help. And I never had a shoulder problem again. He said, but sometimes steroids are just a patch. But he said sometimes they actually work forever, not the steroid shot, but the fact that you get over the hump.
Right, and you loosen it up.
Yeah. And he said it's in the beginning stages, so you should be able to maybe just get after it. And that's what I did. And sure, man, it was such a good.
Now, the other thing I've learned,
do you know
Tom,
Phil Stone?
Oh, yeah. The other thing I've learned is that a lot of times when it's third hand, you get the wrong information. That what her doctor told her husband, it's like a telephone game. Her doctor told her husband who told her, who's telling you, that sometimes there's a lot of misinformation about what's real.
What about,
did Marcus Suzanne leave?
Yeah. Mark said he was leaving it right after the 1 o'clock break.
I'm going to go shoot who's older.
This is those are there, right?
Yeah, these are here.
You know, if it's going to be snowing when I'm done there, that's going to be a bitch. Do you think that might happen? What time are they going to start?
I thought I seen 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Latest.
But I'll bet you people let people out early, so they get home.
According to weather.com, it's going to start at 30% chance at 6 o'clock.
Oh, never mind. I'm fine.
By 3 a.m., 100% chance.
You're going to Golden? You go 470?
I have no idea how I'm going.
I wouldn't go up through 25. 25 is terrible.
25 to 36, you don't think?
Oh, 25 going north through here, the tech center? It's terrible. No, it might break
Even now?
Here, let's. I tell you, you look at the RTV traffic.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at that? It's
no.
Freaking great.
So you want to see if Stewie wants to go on the air? We'll talk. We'll ask him about. Yeah, we'll ask him about it on the air.
I mean, it could be fun. I don't have anybody he's competing with, so it's not like somebody will get pissed.
No, he's retired.
I meant my people.
Oh.
I don't have anybody that'll care.
It's just an opinion.
Yeah, but normally we use,
right.
We use our people first, obviously. But
right.
But you're right. But I would like. Is he up with today's?
Yeah. He only retired recently, within the past year.
Okay. He's a good guy. He really is a good guy. He's fun. I thought maybe he had a failure to launch situation going, possibly.
With his kids?
So anyway, the other thing on retirement that confused me was the Medicare. Fuck.
Oh, Medicare.
Really, the whole thing puts me in an agitated state automatically.
Medicare's unlimited.
Now, you know what Medicare's what? No, I'm talking about what I should do. The advantage of this or that. Oh my God, everybody has a.
What do people at Integra say?
I thought Advantage wasn't that good.
It's not for me, but it's good for a lot of people. He said it's really depends on your situation. I forget why, but he said you just want, because I can pay for a supplement, a good supplement. He said a lot of times people are on the edge. When they get Social Security, if they can give their money to a third party and they don't pay it, you don't pay a dime. There's nothing more you pay. That's what I was told. Nothing more.
Even
But
for drugs.
but you're confined to a group or something. I don't know about drugs. See, that's another thing. I have a drug plan and a supplement, but I think with Advantage, you might still need a drug plan.
The Advantage includes a drug plan.
It does, so there you go.
Okay, but it doesn't include all the drugs, right? Just.
Well, it's like every drug plan has a
Hi,
formula.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Mark Szymanski. How many times we hear about home improvement and going south? He's doing kitchens and baths and basements. And he also, of course, does all the outside of the house. But I need to mention the interior because his name is GenesisTotalExteriors.com. It should be Genesis Total Improvements or whatever, but who's going to argue? GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. Okay, let's talk to Eric again. And Eric, I did have an idea. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay. On your flooding situation, you mentioned the pipe company. That forget it, man. There's a statute of limitations, absolute statute of limitations. So many years. They don't. You normally never see people in court after all that time. But I had some other questions. If we're looking for a bad guy, let's say, okay, improper drainage, the condo people, right? Don't you think?
Could be. I mean, their insurance investigated it, and they said...
Well, of course their insurance investigated it and said they're not at fault. Well, I mean, do you really find that surprising?
The excavators company said that they weren't at fault. They investigated it, and the city didn't get the water shut off for 3 hours because the people mismarked it, and the shutoff valve was 3 feet under asphalt in the middle of the road instead of where they marked it.
Hey, Eric, this is because the excavating company was on site, they removed any evidence that he nicked the pipe, probably, didn't they?
Well, he said it broke before they got there.
Oh, sure. Just because he was vibrating around the area or what? What does he mean before? He means that it was a small leak underneath?
He said that when he got there, it was leaking and...
When he says got there, does he mean when his bucket got there or when they arrived on the job?
When he arrived on the job.
Okay. So did you notice a leak?
Well, I walked down and there was 3 feet of water. And
No. I meant, did you ever notice a leak in the garage ever? I'm talking about if he said there was a leak there when he got there, did you see it that morning? Did anyone ever see it?
No.
He's a liar. Hey, that's what I think. I think he's a liar. So, Sharon, what's going on?
Hey, Tom.
Hey. Do you need something, Sharon?
What do I have to do for maintenance on it?
Okay. Sharon, I think I heard you, and a lot of people didn't, but you're asking about tankless water heaters. Is there a lot of maintenance? I will say this. There's as much maintenance as there would be on a water tank if people actually did it. People don't do the maintenance required on a water tank, which would be flushing and also doing the the sacrificial anode, blah, blah, blah. Now, without getting into the water heater, because you didn't ask about that, let's talk about the tankless. Is there a lot of maintenance? Not a lot. Not any more than a tank. It's just that people with a tank don't do the maintenance. They ignore it. You can't ignore it with a constant flow water heater. A constant flow, or what people call instant water heater, you have to clean the intake screens. You have to clean certain things, and it's not terrible, okay? But you do have to maintain them. But it's not a lot of money nor a lot of problems. Some of it you can do yourself. So that's for those asking or those wondering. I'm answering Sharon, but in general, people, the biggest complaint they have about a tankless water heater is not so much the maintenance, but the amount of showers you can take, okay? Because it's constant flow, and if it's a big house, you need more than one unit. I'm Tom Martino. we're simply out of time. But here's the good news. You can reach us at any time at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. And remember, referralist.com as well for help, information, and referrals. Save all your